Hello, hello. Are we live? Today has been a nightmare. As I'm sure you all know, as I can clearly see in chat, which allow me to update. This stream was supposed to start an hour ago. This is the third attempt. I am having connection issues like never before today. They've been really bad. And like, I was streaming without actually like hitting go live for like 20 minutes just now, and it was in the green for like 10 minutes. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't give me hope. Like, I'm being messed around right now. Like, 1 minute we're dropping frames, the next we're not. And I'm like, I'm really anxious because I don't know whether to go or not. It's like, do I or do I don't? Stop like this stop-start nonsense. And like, I want to say yeah, but I don't know. Like, are we good? Because my eyes, guys, are just completely focused on all of this. Like, this has been changing, as you can see now. This has been changing, as you can see now. I don't know if this is going to be watchable. This is so annoying. So, yeah, if the frame drops get really bad in the next 10 minutes, I'm just gonna postpone the stream. 3 attempts, man. My god, 3 attempts. But for anyone watching without that context, hello, hello, welcome to Sister Location Custom Night, Sister Location Revisited, Round 2, perhaps more aptly named Round 3, because it's the 3rd time I've tried this stream. Guys, we're back with Sister Location Custom Night, and joining me today is my returning guest star who featured in a couple episodes from way back. It's my girlfriend, it's Lucie. And she just had to go AFK. She just had to go. This is fucking brilliant. Because again, we were supposed to start an hour ago. We knew she'd have dinner around this time, so she's not going to be here yet. I'm so anxious. I don't know if this is gonna. Like, I'm waiting for this to all go wrong. Because like now I want to get up and go tell my parents actually the stream is fine, so I'm gonna do it. And if I come back in the frame shot, I don't want to get messed around, man. It's been stop, start, to and fro, and it's like, I can't trust anything. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. So, I'm actually going to leave myself muted on the Discord call, but yeah, Lucie's here. I'll introduce her later when she arrives. Oh my goodness. This has been such a messy start, guys. Like, this has been an absolute mess. Listen, I'm going to go AFK briefly, and if the stream hasn't died, we're going to go for this, okay? But again, I need to really do a vlog stream and just talk to you guys casually about things going on, because like I'm like, my life's a mess right now. But we're back with Sister Location Custom Night. I got a special guest star who will be joining me later. You guys will see all of that very shortly, okay? There says charity shout out, QOTD, like goal and everything. I'll be right back, okay? I'm just gonna leave it on this screen for a minute. If this goes to shit, then I'm cancelling. Otherwise, well, we'll see. Enjoy the music, because I know how much you guys love Venta Black. Again, it keeps going to the red. I don't trust it. Ugh, I'm so anxious right now. I'll be right back. It'll be like 5 minutes, okay? Hold on. Okay, how are we looking? Well, we haven't dropped any frames since then, so I'm just gonna go for this. Guys, welcome to the messiest start to a Mystery Mat stream ever. I'm just gonna get on with this, because I don't want to keep you, lovely boys and girls waiting. So, Welcome back to Sister Location Custom Night. Just because I am going to delete this for the sake of this stream and the whole record and everything, I'm going to go into my YouTube studio. I'm going to look at the chat messages from the now unlisted original attempt. The second attempt was literally a minute long and it was just the start screen, so I got rid of it. But the second attempt, I'm going to take a look at that because we were live for like 19 minutes. And that it really sucked that, oh man, I haven't even got the stream playback here, the chat playback. But yeah, I just want to say, acknowledging everybody in chat. Hi, hello, welcome. Look at this. I'd rather this buffer than the stream. I can barely read it. It still wasn't even in, like, you know, the max quality. But yeah, nice to see everybody here. The support for, God. And there it goes. The moment I turn my back. There it goes. The moment I turn my back. Shall I just... I'm just going to play the game. Yeah, I'm just going to play the game. I'm just going to play the game, and I'm just going to see how this pans out. I'm going to talk to you guys about it later. So, what about Sister Location? What in Sister Location? I hate the mouse lock in this game, so annoying. But if I can just get the game capture selected like so. Bada bing, bada boom. Wait, what? What? Okay, that was confusing. Okay. Creeper, Duncan, DJ, Nuba, Livy, Ethan, True, Dr. Perception, Mithran, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. So, last episode, we did a bit of Sister Location Custom Night, and I actually got stuck in and dived into all of the challenges and whatnot. Now, there's actually something I think you guys should see. I did a couple, oh my gosh, everything's all over the place. I did a couple challenges off camera. I didn't want to bore you guys with each and every individual star. So, I did the easy Funtime Frenzy and top shelf and bottom shelf off camera just to warm up, to make sure I was good for today. And, yeah. I'm afraid I don't have the energy or the time. I mean, this whole situation has been super stressful. I'm not bringing in the blindfold or the keyboard today. I know I said I'd do that next episode, but I'm going to have to push that off because, like, the stream's barely being held together right now, and I think I don't want to push anything with fancy setup, so I'm just gonna get on with, like, you know, making this, you know, the way I want to. So I'm just gonna attempt some challenges. I say we start with Funtime Frenzy or normal, maybe. That'd be pretty good. It's just Funtime Freddy, Funtime Foxy, Yendo, and Lolbit. You've got, you know, Freddy, Foxy, and, like, you know, the actual, what do you call it? You've got the Sister Location iterations of Freddy and Foxy, and the custom exclusive iterations. So, what we want to do is watch Cam 7, listen for Freddy. Lucie, hello, you're back! This is the messiest start to a stream I've ever had. I'm actually so angry. This is just, like, why? Oh my gosh, Foxy's moving. So I'm just launching straight into the game because, like, I don't know what to expect. The frames are dropping and then they're not, and it's like, make your mind up.
Just saying, you're still muted.
Oh, shit.
We're
Fuck!
also in game right now, so it's fine.
I can't unmute. Fuck. Ah, fuck this. Not worth it. Hold on a second. Hi. I literally couldn't tab out because of the stupid mouse lock. Sorry.
It's fine. I knew.
Oh my god.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, right. Guys, this stream has been a mess. I don't even know what is happening. I don't even know what. I'm gonna start over. Hello, we live, guys. So, before I jump back into the gameplay, I want to just talk to you guys for a minute. I need to do a vlog stream sometime, and I'll come to that in more time. But I just want to say, first of all, thank you all so much for your patience. The fact that this many of you have willingly waited an entire hour for this stream You've actually, you know, put up with all the bullshit shenanigans of me and my Wi-Fi. That means a lot to me, that you would actually, like, wait this much for me. I can't say I would honestly do the same. So, I just want to say, like, from the bottom of my heart, massive thank you, because, like, the loyalty, it's honestly really flattering us. I'm putting the message in chat, and we're already getting QOTD answers, and I just want to say, like, thank you so much. That means a lot. You guys are the best. I'm going to read your QOTD answers soon. I'm sorry for not reading all of your chat messages, but I will. And again, there was yeah, this stream, there was a failed attempt with a bunch of chat messages that I want to put in this stream so I can just delete the other videos so it's all there, because some pretty interesting things were said, but looks like it might have been lost to time. I unlisted this now. I'm gonna delete it. Yeah, it really sucks. But yeah, I was just gonna say, like, Ethan mentioned, you know, the boyfriend-girlfriend banter's probably gonna be top-notch, you know. Lucie is here with me, guys. Excuse me. Jesus. Lucie's here with me. You know, my girlfriend, she's back, from the collabs with Sister Location episodes 2 and 3 for the custom night. You know, I'm glad you guys all enjoy, Venta Blank. It is a great soundtrack. And I want to give, again, a massive shout out to Ethan for not only designing today's thumbnail, he approached me with today's thumbnail, just saying, hey Matt, here's a free thumbnail, use it. And I was like, this is basically exactly how I was going to make it anyway, so thank you, I'll use that. But he also made this. He posted, again, trying to support me and actually get to 1,000, when, like, he really didn't have to. He's already done plenty to support me. And I just want to say again, thank you, because, like, I can't thank you guys enough. This is, like, so generous. And, I know how annoying it must be for me to, like, bring this up every stream. Come on, guys, we can get to 1,000, I can get monetized. But, like, it really means a lot to me. And I'm just grateful you guys put up with my, you know, shit. And are actually really receptive to my content. It means a lot. Obviously, today, we are also giving a shout out to Lucie. She has a Tumblr page. I've linked the correct one this time. Not that it matters, because I'm going to delete this. We don't need this anymore. But, yeah, Lucie has a Tumblr blog. This is where she's most active. If you're interested in following her, contacting her, you know, engaging with her artwork or whatever, this is where she posts it. She's incredibly talented. Go check her out. She's got some good stuff on the go. Yeah, I will talk about today's charity shout-out, the QOTD, and, you know, like goal and watch hour goal later. For now, I'm going to stop wasting time. I don't care if we're dropping frames. As long as it's not critical, we can get on with this and get playing the game. So, is the audio balance okay? Can you guys hear Lucie, over the game? Because Sister Location's quite loud.
Hold up.
How's the audio? Lucie, just want to tell us about your day. Was there something you wanted to say earlier?
Not really. I mean, I said what I wanted to say.
See, this is why this is so annoying, because you were in with a bunch of things to talk about in the last stream, but now you've already said it, so you just repeat yourself, and it's like, gotta reboot the stream. I'm just gonna play, guys, and we will get into the groove as we go, I think. As long as the audio balance is okay. I'm just gonna check the audio now, just to be sure, but yeah, we'll get into the groove as we go. Play, guys, and we will get into the awkward start as we go, I think. This is where she posted. She's incredible. Hold on a second. She's got some good stuff. What was that?
Do you still want to know about my day?
Hold on a second. Off on the go. Was there something you wanted in time? I don't care. Okay, I'm just gonna like just repeat.
Really? I mean, I said what I wanted to say.
Okay. Sorry, managing a lot of audio channels right now. I think it's good. I think you guys got to tell me if the audio needs adjusting, because I can't tell. I don't know.
So far it seems good, so.
Like, Lucie should be louder than the game. You know, like, you should be able to hear Lucie loud and clear. The game should be in the background. I've halved game audio, that should be good. Alright, let's get on with this. So, welcome back, everyone, to Sister Location. And, you know, we already beat the main game. We're going to the custom night, okay? I just want to let you guys know that I didn't want to bore you with doing every last possible challenge. So, as a bit of warm-up off camera, I did Funtime Frenzy and the shelves on the easiest setting. So I've already done those. And I'm just going to jump into Funtime Frenzy. You know what? Normal. I'll go normal. We'll see how it goes. I might skip hard. We'll see. But I'm just going to play Funtime Frenzy on normal. And we're just going to begin. So, something I've learned from playing a little bit off camera is that in this custom night, almost everything has a sound cue. Which means that if you're attentive, you barely need to use the cameras. And that's really helpful. That's honestly really helpful. What I'm doing here is I'm facing towards the side where Funtime Freddy is, so I don't forget where he is without even needing to check his camera. And we just need to check on Foxy periodically, deal with Lolbit and Yendo as they appear. It's the Funtime versions of Freddy and Foxy and their custom night versions. That's why it's called Funtime Frenzy, I guess. I don't know. It's a bit weird how the whole thing works. Yendo. So this is normal difficulty. I'm flipping the motor way too much. So I asked you guys, who is the easiest character to deal with in Sister Location Custom Night? I didn't check the cameras in a while there. And Livy says Funtime Freddy, because all he does is yeet bomb. All you have to do is simply close the door. His audio cues are also, like, you know, very obvious. Ethan says Mini Arena 1. You just have to shock them. They don't pose a threat to your power, only your oxygen, which can be, you know... While it's difficult to see with low oxygen, they don't drain it super fast. They always spawn the same camera as well. They're right next to Foxy. Yeah, I get it. So, good, interesting reasoning. Interesting reasonings. The frames are dropping almost as much as the menus beat. Damn. Damn, dude. It really do be like that. But yeah, Yendo. The stream is completely buffering on my screen, on my phone, guys. Like, are you guys still seeing and hearing this, or is this just completely cutting out? Because on my mobile preview, it's just buffering every few seconds.
Mine is currently fine. It's like a little laggy, but not like terribly so.
But it's not buffering and actually stopping.
Currently fine.
That's the right side, right? Yeah.
No, it did drop the quality though.
Yeah. I would rather latency, low quality, as long as it's not actually buffering. It might be my actual, like, phone settings. I'm just gonna put it, yeah, it's on auto. It's on the lowest. Guys, I'm really sorry. Mr. Crunch today. It's a Mr. Crunching. I would wait as long as I wanted for you, Matt. Kissy emoji. Oh, Ethan. Stop. He's such a flirt. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Sorry. Lucy, it's just the boys, Lucy. It's just the boys. I'm not gay. It's just the boys. Yeah.
Is it gay to kiss the homie on the mouth?
Nope. As long as you say no homo, you're all good. You get a pass. Ethan, no homo.
I see.
Smushes you.
It's not cheating if it's not gay.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. Guys, I'm not cheating on Lucy. We don't. It's just the bros. It's just the boys. Oh man. But yeah, Creeper says Funtime Foxy because well, all these other characters are slightly harder. Sorry, there's a lot happening. I'm not even like doing this challenge very well, but it's a pretty easy one, so I'm managing. Man, I need to actually check. But yeah, Ethan's recently completed every preset on all difficulties. That was actually inspired by the last stream, which is awesome. Can I do Golden Freddy mode later? I can, but I don't want to. I'm not going to do it while the stream is so unstable. I want to save Golden Freddy mode for the last episode when I know the stream is going to be stable. Today, guys, you know, I just want the focus to be Lucie joining us here. I'm going to stick to this, you know, small fries for the challenges. I think I'm just going to play some of the challenges, maybe a couple very hard, but, you know, little else. I'm going to save the blindfold and the second keyboard shenanigans for next time, because I don't trust the stream not to break. You know, and, like, also, again, my skill level, I'm a bit unfocusing out of it, and I'm going to talk about that more in a vlog sometime. But, yeah, I think I just want to let you guys know, like, I just want to have a chat with Lucie today. We'll see where it goes, alright? We'll see where it goes. It's not going to be a strict thing. But yeah, how bad is the buffering right now, guys? Because the buffering stopped on my preview.
Yeah, it's fine on my end too.
I hope it's okay and it's stabilizing. Apparently, this is the hardest game to run except for Security Breach. I have like RTX 3060 like graphics card, but Sister Location's hard to run. What? It's Click Team.
I mean, if your computer is generally not that good, yeah. But Minecraft is harder to run.
Yes, I'm secretly married to Ethan. That's definitely a thing that's happening. Also, Platty, my boy, how you doing? Platty coming with the smiling hearts, like, oh man. I just adore how we all have these like inside jokes and this like just silly, you know, group sense of humor.
Yeah,
I love it.
Should be.
And I like that it's not anything awkward or forced. You know how like some YouTubers had their collaborations ruined by fans being weird. Me and Ethan, we're just being weird in the first place. It's not like except the player. And there we go. Look at that. Finish the night on the camera. That was a cool frame to finish on. Foxy didn't attack once. Alright, so there we go. Shift complete. Enjoy some time at home. I love the whole aesthetic and everything of the sister location, like shift complete thing. Like the rainbow. It's like, it's not like hurting your eyes FNaF world, like in your face, but it's like you've got this like multicolor, very 80s saturated kind of thing going on with the cheesy music that is kind of... There's some of that in Pizzeria Simulator as well, which is really cool. Okay.
Also,
the streams...
in my opinion...
Yeah, go on.
Also, in my opinion, just another hint that this location happened between 83 and 87. To me, personally.
Right, yeah. So, you know what, guys? I was just gonna say, stream seems to have stabilized. Fingers crossed it stays that way. If you guys have any questions about things I meant to talk about at the start, ask. But otherwise, we're just gonna get on with the stream. So, Lucie and I just want this stream to be about Lucie, because, Lucie, it's been a while since we've collaborated. It's been a long time since we did Sister Location. I know this is, like, your game. You know, if each one of us in the Hydration Nation had to, like, represent or do something to represent a single FNaF game within the franchise, you're the Sister Location person, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
Maybe that's not true, but, you know, it's the game that you were the most, that kind of got you most engaged with the lore, and you can tell us more about this, you know, yourself, but also, like, you know, isn't it one of your favorites? Isn't it, like, your, like, personal favorite game? Because you could argue Sister Location is the best FNaF game.
So,
Tough, isn't
there's
it?
some nuance here. So,
I'm gonna try
into the fandom.
top shelf and normal. Go on.
Yeah, I got into the fandom around when FNaF 3 came out, and
Yes,
at first
same.
I just had some casual interest. I was like still like in the process of catching up with everything, and I was like not too, I guess, incredibly intrigued about the lore. Although I was intrigued, like I did like the mystery of it, but I wasn't like deeply invested in theorizing stuff until Sister Location, like the last credit, like the little like monologue cutscene at the very end of Custom Night.
Ooh, okay. Guys, I'm picking this challenge because I gotta listen for less. I don't want to have to listen for loads of stuff and have focus on what Lucie's saying as well. That's why I'm doing bottom shelf first. But yeah, so two things. Number one, just reading chat. Platty, hilarious as always. Yeah, so SL is more visual and perspective effects. It has 2, and it's also badly optimized. 3 minutes behind, that's rough, dude, but hey, I think the high latency is worth having a stream. And you're right, Ethan, very Van Halen. Okay, so this is bottom shelf. So we got to deal with like all the Biddy Bab mini arena. It's Lolbit, the 2 Biddy Bab versions and the 2 mini arena versions. I'm not gonna talk. You guys will know how the gameplay works. So Lucie, let's just chat.
Yeah,
what were you saying?
I was gonna continue on because you said that Sister Game is probably my favorite FNaF game, which is actually not true.
Really? Because again, this is something we talked about a bit way back with the episodes when we were doing the main game. But now with the custom night, like, yeah, Sister Location. I mean, Sister Location is not your favorite FNaF game, which is.
Yeah,
you know?
I think it's like one of the better ones for sure. It's just, I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint which one is my favorite. because
fair.
I'm so fond of all of them. Like, the first one is just
Right.
completely iconic in the way it sets everything up. It functions perfectly as a game in its own. It didn't need a continuation, but I got one anyways. And I love FNaF 2. It's just iconic in its own way. I love the way they introduced the mini-game, like, flashback concept.
Minigame for lore.
And how it introduced more lore, and how the little, like, secret stuff, the little extras, the Easter eggs. I love that. Completely overwhelmed with the gameplay that I could never in my life play this game myself. No. I managed night 1 and 2, and that's enough.
If I could say one thing about FNaF 2, actually, when Ambience and the boys joined me for a debate direct to critically analyze, like, the FNaF games, I think it was actually the charity event, the reason I don't like FNaF 2 that much is because, despite being a really good game, it has one flaw, but that flaw is, like, the biggest thing, and it's gameplay. The balancing and the, you know, game mechanics were really rushed and kind of the worst, in my opinion, of the games. Not that it's a bad game at all, it's a pretty close competition, but, yeah.
I'd say if I really had to pick an absolute favorite, it would probably be FNaF 3. It doesn't have the best scares, the best spooks. It doesn't have the best gameplay. It's but I love the gameplay, actually. The atmosphere and the story. It's like try to round out and finish up, and I love the implications. I love the whole thing of like finding the clues in the between the night stuff, and then like get this different ending depending on whether or not you figure it out. It's too obtuse to actually function. Like people have to go data mining to figure it out, which I think is kind of stupid because this is the kind of thing that you should be able to solve without having to look up the solution.
To be fair, there are clues. There are clues. I just think the wall pad instead of an actual keypad was so dumb.
Yeah, exactly. The wall pad. Like who would get that idea? And the thing is, while it's kind of iffy gameplay standpoint, I do feel like it just adds to the fact that like the happy ending is so impossible to achieve in quotation marks that it might as well never happen. Like the good ending while all of them are free, it doesn't really happen, and we see that later with the Pizzeria Simulator because that's when everything ends for sure. But everything before that, it's like I don't know. I just like the idea that the good ending, the way to free them all is so hidden and so obtuse that it's impossible to like for that one to be the most canon one, I guess. I know. I feel like there's some kind of symbolism to be drawn there. But mostly I like it because I don't know. It gives a little bit of like closure on what happened with the killer, right, of the story.
Yeah.
And I like. I know it's very functional for what it is, and I like that there's only one animatronic because like even though there's only one, it works perfectly in that regard. The only thing that would have made this better if his jump scare was actually scary, because it's not.
So are you saying FNaF 3 is your favorite of the FNaF games?
Yeah, I think it's more because like I have a personal soft spot because obviously that's my favorite character. Like I'm biased. I'm definitely biased. I'm not.
That's interesting. Because Scott has said on occasion, I believe, that his personal favorite is also FNaF 3. He has a soft spot for it. And there's a lot I could say on this topic, and I think we should stick on Sister Location. Oops, I didn't get the right one. But,
so yeah, while FNaF 3 is probably my favorite, I also am very fond of Sister Location. It just has a special place in my heart, considering, like, how much further it pushed me, in terms of theory crafting. And discovering that I'm into that stuff in the first place.
Right? Yeah, Sister Location was a bit of a renaissance for FNaF lore. Because, after FNaF 3 ended, it was kind of all over, and there was just kind of a lingering mystery about some of the details of the early days, but we basically had a complete narrative. And FNaF 4 didn't provide anything. Then we had the novels, which a lot of people ignored, and then Sister Location came and changed everything. So, yeah, I can understand that.
I also... Contrary to popular opinion, I actually really like how the sci-fi elements have been implemented. It's kind of bullshit, and they could have easily just like stuck with the supernatural stuff, but I like that there's an explanation to things. I like that there's an attempt to like put a science behind all these supernatural circumstances that are very much still definitely supernatural, but there's like I don't know, it feels more substance in my opinion.
It's a kind of go on.
Yeah, you have this whole concept of remnant and it being like energy, and then manipulated with additional energy through like electric shocks or kinetic energy or fire. And like I love that this gets like cut into here for the first time. That William gets fleshed out as a character more. That he's not just a cold-blooded killer. He also had family. He also had people he actually cared about. And the fact that this backfired and got abandoned straight after, I think shows that pretty well. It adds so much to these characters, especially Michael. Like,
Yeah.
we have barely a concept of who this character is, of who these characters are, and this game fleshes them out so much. And I feel like a lot of people tend to overlook it because it's sci-fi bad.
Yeah. That's fair. There's so much I could say in response to this, but a lot of it I said before. I'd love to hear chat's responses to what Lucie's saying. But like, regardless of the other games, what your favorite is or not, yeah, Sister Location is kind of definitive for FNaF. It was the first big departure on that, unlike FNaF World, was a success. In fact, I think you could probably argue it was FNAF's most successful game. I feel like I feel like the peak of hype and mainstream interest in FNaF was the highest it's ever been, obviously with the first two games, and then the highest again with Sister Location, and since then it's never been higher, even if you could argue Help Wanted came close or whatever. I would argue that in terms of I would argue that in terms of mainstream media, Security Breach got a fuck ton of attention, but it's completely underserved if you ask me. I don't want to talk about Security Breach.
Pretend that's not a thing.
Yeah. I think I'll try Top Shelf hard next. But yeah, I was just gonna say, like, there is something to this. MatPat described it as the frame of FNaF being broken. But the thing is, right, I feel like you can't do the same thing over and over forever and, you know, keep successful or fresh. The reason we have Sister Location is because people were bored to tears by the time Five Nights at Freddy's 4 rolled around. You know, a lot of people were, quite unfairly, to be honest, judged it harshly, and I think there are issues with FNaF 4, but, like, as much as I love the original formula, and, you know, again, Sister Location was genius. Scott deliberately went with a different gameplay style that was similar enough to be, you know, recognizable as a FNaF game, but, like, a big departure. But the fact that a lot of people, you know, didn't like it as much made everyone realize how much they loved the original gameplay, leading to this custom night and, you know, people accepting the formula, because it's a really good formula. Some people love that style of gameplay. They don't get bored of it. I am one of those people, and if you do get bored of that gameplay and you're tired of, you know, surviving that, that's perfectly valid.
You have all the options now.
There's a lot of FNaF games that can provide different experiences. Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator adds a tycoon on top. The Fazbear Fanverse Initiative. Lucie, I don't know if you've seen this, but Ambience recently did an interview with Kane Carter. You've got to watch it. It's so good. I just
haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
There's a lot of interesting. It was just very, very insightful, really. But if what Kane is saying is true, and I'm sure it is, the fanverse is going to provide a lot in the way of, you know, niches of FNaF, you know. The Jew of Creation, for example, 3D free roam, you know, kind of. But yeah, with Sister Location, going back to the lore, I really think Sister Location was peak lore, I think, because despite being really convoluted and complicated and being, you know, having a lot of things, I think, like missing a few things, it did a lot really well. And I think... Go on. Sorry.
I really, really like how this game handled storytelling. Like, you got some more direct clues, you got some more direct dialogue, and some more, like, direct information, but it also kept a lot of stuff hidden. Like, you had the constant manipulation through Baby. And, like, you could never be too sure, like, what is trick, what isn't.
I like that.
The little, like, tidbits in between, and the build-up of Elizabeth's death is so well handled.
And again, they actually went in depth with her character. You know, they actually told her story 3 times over to really get the details ironed out. We never got that for the rest of the Aftons, which is why I think, like, Elizabeth is the most developed of them, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, sorry, I'm listening to a lot of audio, but I was just gonna say, like, go on.
I would personally argue that Michael is actually the most fleshed out, because we don't actually know what Elizabeth was like beyond, like, maybe a little bit of a small brat.
I guess, yeah.
Because, like, with Michael, we have this whole arc of, like, being the bully brother, to ultimately being the one that fixes everything or helps to fix everything.
Redemption
And
arc,
how
basically.
much, like, basically the whole redemption arc thing. It's super interesting, and I like that. In the for example, the Security Logbook, although I personally consider it kind of a dubious source because not everything in there is canon.
It just
but a lot of things
contradicts
are
everything,
meta.
man. The logbook's a
Yeah,
mess. I don't know what's up with that.
there's also like a lot of meta stuff that's too contradictory. But I like that we got a little bit more insight on Michael as a character.
Yes.
Like that he's very sarcastic. He's good at drawing. He's like very like artsy in that regard.
Yeah.
He's very sarcastic and has a dry sense of humor. He's like kind of addicted to shooting you down, which does get picked up in other like situations, like if you count it as a parallel to that. But then I feel like Michael, like as a protagonist, like despite never saying a single word until that like little monologue piece, is a surprisingly fleshed out protagonist. All things considered.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I just think, you know, Elizabeth's had the most screen time, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, there's also the Fazbear Fright story Step Closer, you know, with which is an allegory, but it's a pretty good insight into Mike and his brother, like the whole relationship dynamic with that. Ah, shit. Guys, I can't. There's too many audio feeds. I need to catch up with chat. Give me a second. I'm overwhelmed. This Lucie, you said so much. Like, I want to respond to this. I was just gonna say earlier, yes, this location was a turning point for the franchise, and I think, FNaF has to evolve, it has to grow and try new things. If it doesn't experiment, and if it doesn't trial and error and fail, we'll never know. And I think that's much better than stagnating in the same tired old formula. This is why I love Fazbear Fright. Fazbear Fright has some of the worst content ever produced in FNaF. But unlike Security Breach, I don't mind it at all, because they're these, you know, obscure little stories that you can, you know, perfectly well ignore without affecting, you know, the wider franchise. And it's like, it really is this perfect experimentation ground of, that really goes also into the horror elements of FNaF, which, you know, have been, you know, let go of a lot in recent years, in my opinion, like too much. But, you know, regardless of that, it's like, you know, experimentation's good.
Definitely.
And yeah, Sister Location, it brought a lot to the table, which, you know, maybe some of it's hit, some of it was missed, but I do actually like the blending of sci-fi with the paranormal, because a lot of good horror franchises do this. Resident Evil, Soma, which I think was a standalone game, but you get the point. You know, Alien Isolation, Prey, like, sci-fi, you know, is... Unlike fantasy, I think sci-fi is such a broad and flexible topic, and horror, it just can kind of slot into, like, whichever. Like, horror is an aspect you can add and like, mesh it with. And having this kind of alchemy that actually explains, like, how and why there are so many of these haunted creatures, I think really grounds all of these different locations and animatronics existing. The fact that William Afton is a mad scientist, and he's got this kind of like drive to, you know, again, his motive, he's got so many different motives at different points in time. It's all up to interpretation, but it's like, you know, you can look at it as him trying to get wealth and power, you know, with this like new kind of invention. You can see it as him trying to save his family and, you know, preserve them forever. You know, after the Bite of 83 accident, trying to, you know, preserve his son's life, Evan, Cassidy, whatever it's called. You know, you've got, you know, like, whatever. And, yeah, I think Fazbear Fright, again, had actually finely tuned the balance between horror and sci-fi, because it has this very grounded, industrial, realistic, kind of like workshop-y explanation for like haunting scientifically. Because the kind of sci-fi that doesn't work with FNaF is when it's just like not grounded in the universe and like doesn't make any like sense. Like actual time travel. I was a bit iffy on Into the Pit because what the hell? Like time travel? But when you think of it as more of like a hallucination traveling into an alternate dimension, you know, there's this thing which I call the flip side, which has come up again and again in FNaF. It was in the novel trilogy. It was in Five Nights at Freddy's 3. It's now appeared in Fright. Like, it's not like actual going back in time and changing history. It's more like, you know, like hallucinations, basically. But, you know, that actually kind of worked, because it felt like, you know, it's like a kind of classical horror thing to have like these like maddening hallucinations, I guess, and that's not new to FNaF, but something like Phasgoo, something, you know, like the Glamrock animatronics, they're so unrealistic and unbelievably like futuristic. Like it kind of beggars belief that they can somehow coexist in the same universe as a lot of the other things, which is why I'm really happy that specifically all the stories where FNaF exists inside itself and all the stories with Phasgoo have no connections to the epilogues. It's like you can cleanly separate out all the shit Fazbear Fright stories from the overarching Stitch Raid stuff, which is great, and you know, on a wider scale too. I mean, but yeah, my point is I think I do support the whole sci-fi blend. I think it's cool. I'm really sorry, Lucie. I need to catch up with chat. I'm going to try a challenge. Doesn't require listening so much.
God, the thing is, I have so much to say, but I also feel like I just like run in a circle because like there's things I disagree with you on, but there's also just like me having a biased like own interpretation of William as a character. Like, but you know that, so I don't know. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I'm just gonna catch up with chat for a second, and then you can continue talking. Because I'm just gonna shut up and focus when I do this challenge. I'm gonna do Dolt Attack very hard, guys. Actually, get a cutscene. But yeah, this is a really fun game mode, Creeper. I'm glad you agree. Salmonate, I don't know what you're on about Razor Synapse, but I'm glad your throat is getting better. How you doing, man? Nice to see you. Aggro Nightmare way too hard. Oh, you mean I don't know what that is. But yeah, the Cold War thing, again, with FNaF 3, I think all the clues were actually fairly, there, except for that one. I think the only thing that should have changed is that Scott should have put that wall code into an actual keypad somewhere. I feel like every other clue, with enough time and experimentation, you could find without, you know, data mining.
Still small, yeah, let's just assume there was no data mining. You would not be able to figure out the way the mini games are meant to be played to achieve the good ending.
No.
Like,
I think you could, but it would just take longer.
Stage 0 one, that's like, what the fuck?
No, that one's easy. You just gotta explore. If anything, I'm wondering how people would work out to double click on the BB poster. Oh wait, no, there's a clue for that. No, there's clues for all of them. The only bullshit thing is the wall pad, the wall tiles keypad thing. I think everything else, with enough time, you could get it easy. Honestly, I don't think it's unfair. It's just the one. Also, Freddy Plushbear, I didn't know that. It's actually called Elizabeth Tower, and Big Ben is the bell. That's pretty weird. Man, so many chat messages. Hello, Jedi Josh, welcome. Duncan, if I were to remake any two FNaF games, it would be FNaF 4, because I think it really doesn't mesh with the rest of the series, and Pizzeria Simulator, just because, despite being, like, one of my favorites, there's still so much more potential for things going on with that. I don't know, it's crazy.
I personally would argue, in terms of remake, I feel like...
Yeah. Dark Springtrap, yeah. Weird.
I feel like FNaF 3 and 4 were the weakest in some regards. Like FNaF 4 needs some rework in terms of the lore implementation. And
Hello,
FNaF 3
Jurakuba.
would need a rework with the scares.
Yeah, the thing is with FNaF 3, if the jump scares were handled correctly, and the fear was a bit higher, it would be perfect. That is my honest opinion. I think FNaF 3 is, like, a really, really good game. But it completely falls apart in people's eyes just because everything about the jump scares is just wrong. And it's not very good at building up tension. Although FNaF 2 isn't better. You know, like... I'm still grateful that Springtrap's jump scare is the way it is, though, because A, I think it gives them personality, but more importantly, B, without it, FNaF 4 and the rest of the series wouldn't exist as we know it.
I mean,
Dolt Attack very hard.
With me and friends have literally joked that like he doesn't even want to kill you. You just pass out because you get that scared.
Right? Yeah.
He just wants to ask you to open the door to the exit, but he can't speak. So he's just standing there leaning in menacingly, and you pass out because you get. That's my ongoing jokey theory.
That sounds hilarious. I love that.
That's not a death jump scare.
Headcanon. Yeah. You don't die. Can we just appreciate Newbert's comment?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Sorry. One second. One more thing. I also just love the idea that like every time the night guard presses the BB decoy button, Springtrap like kind of like blanks out and like comes to consciousness again in a different area, and it's super frustrating when you're just trying to ask him a question.
Yeah, that's actually
all the way back, and then has to like respawn. And I just love the mental image of him screaming inside, like completely enraged, and that's the only reason he become violent to that guy.
Wow. That's there's a game called FNaF Simulator, which interpreted it kind of like that, because it's like you black out and you miss the skill check for the audio lure. It's pretty good. So wow, this is intense.
I know that one. I really love how FNaF Simulator handles Springtrap. Like, I freaking love it.
Right?
The way the hallucinations pop in and out, and like how the vision fades, and how there's an insanity meter, and that it increases immensely when you crawl through the vents, because like obviously this guy who was locked for like 20-something years, immobile in a tiny ass room, would be claustrophobic.
Yeah. Yeah, I agreed. Like, seeing that evolve and change throughout different, like, updates was super interesting, and I think, I don't know, it's pretty good. Also, wow. Sorry, this is a very hard challenge, guys. Like, I'm overwhelmed by how aggressive this is. But, can we just appreciate Nubert's comment? We've got Burn Trap, who's purple, Freeze Trap, who's blue, Fire Trap, who's orange, Shit Trap, who's brown, and Pass Trap, who's yellow. Like, honestly, though, something which I think, is worth mentioning about Springtrap is that I actually really don't like Springtrap. I think he might be one of my least favorite characters, simply because of how he's just gotten worse and worse over the years. In every appearance he's made, he's gotten just worse as a character, and he's just a joke. He went from like the most intimidating, badass, big bad of the franchise to like just a meme. Like, no one takes him seriously anymore, and it's really sad, because,
I genuinely feel like they
wasted
should
potential.
have cut his arc. They should have cut his arc with FNAF 3. Like, that should have been his end.
Yeah. See, Scott forced him in because of fan demand. But, sorry, I'm gonna listen to this. It's just not good. Because, yeah, I won't go into it. I already wrote like an essay on this. But yeah, like, we're at the point now where in Tales from the Pizzaplex, there's a Springtrap costume in a role-playing area of the Pizzaplex. That's like a serious story. It's just like, how the hell did we get here? Like, that is just such garbage. And it's really sad. Also, I'm gonna run out of power. I don't think I'm ready for these challenges, dude. My goodness. But yeah, this is Doll's attack. This is Doll's attack. There we go. But yeah, exactly. And it just really sucks that, like, you know, the focus of Springtrap now is Illumix recolors and like just weirder and weirder versions of him in Frights. It's just sad. Anyway. If I had something to say, I forgot what it was.
That's fine.
This is a really hard challenge. I'm probably gonna run out of power. I gotta like read chat and play this. Let's see.
Yeah. Also, just saying, as a warning, I might have to dip in between because we're gonna have dinner soon.
Alright.
Just as a warning.
Understandable. Have a nice day. Listen, chat, I'm gonna catch up with you when it's convenient for me, so I'm really sorry if your messages go unread, but it's a busy stream, you know, there's only so much I can do.
I can also keep an eye on it.
Thank you, yeah, because, again, I'm kind of teetering on the point now where as a streamer, I can't read every single chat message because there's so many, and, you know, there's so much else going on with the stream. Again, because we're having a conversation, and, yeah, I'm trying to do too much at once here. I'm just kind of not managing this well, so ignore me, guys.
Nobody's expecting you to actually master this, okay? Chill.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll catch up with chat later, guys. So, I'll tell you. Oh no, no! Oh, I literally couldn't see my cursor there. It's gonna be amazing if I survive this. Like, I will be flabbergasted. No, wait! Ah, shit. Okay, well, I don't know how I'm alive right now. Bonnet almost got me. If I survive this. Dude, it's gonna be really close. It's down to the hair. I don't think I'm gonna get this. Brace yourselves, boys. Jump scare incoming. I swear the power lasted longer being drained there. Oh, man. So, Lucie, we've talked a lot about sister location, but we haven't talked about the custom night specifically. So, because like there's a couple things I want to point out. First of all, I find it really interesting that for the custom night, Scott referenced the older games a bit, and since there were already tons of jump scares with the animatronics having their faceplates open in sister location, that was kind of their gimmick. In the custom night, their faceplates don't open, so you actually get a jump scare where it's just like their face without the plates like you know, coming apart. And I think on a lot of characters this doesn't look nearly as good, especially with Ballora, but like I think it made sense. It was like, well, you've already got like the faceplates openings, let's do something different so the jump scares are still fresh. But I don't like how it's Ballora that attacks you during a power out. I feel like it should have been Freddy, because we don't actually have a Freddy jump scare, it's just Bon Bon.
And we also, it would also be such a nice little like knockback to the first one, where like, when you run out of power, it's Freddy.
Dude does attack hard, like, guys, so I gotta take my
hello?
time. Yeah, like, missed opportunity, man. I would have loved to have a little Toreador from Funtime Freddy, or a different song or something. Yeah, what am I doing? Stills attack.
I apologize for my excessive coughing. I tried to mute up most of it, but I'm sick, so hello.
Oh, man. Yeah, you and me both, Lucie. I get it. Anyway, Shrek Forever After? Well, that'd be something. Right? Golden Springtrap? Honestly, though, like... I don't know, man. I'm not gonna go on about how I don't like how FNaF is meta these days. I've already done that before. But yeah, you guys come and go as you please. Duncan, like, there's no obligation to stay or go. It's fine. You do what you want to do. So I just wanted to say... Yeah, the, Lucie. We've talked about the main game. What's your experience with the custom night sister location? Any experiences with that you want to talk about?
I mean, I only watched the gameplay secondhand through Markiplier. I've never played these games myself.
You've never played it yourself?
No, and you know why? Because I suck at horror games, and these games just stress me out and freak me out, and I'm not good at multitasking. So these are just not a game I enjoy actually playing.
Man. Well, there you go, guys, because I saw...
I'm in it for the vibes and the lore, that's it.
I was gonna say, there was a comment earlier from Ethan or Creepson saying they'd love to see you get scared playing FNaF and reacting to all that.
I mean, I could try playing them at some point. I just would rather not do that alone.
I would happily library share my Steam games with you, so, you know.
Yeah, I genuinely really am really bad with like tension. Like you can ask anyone who's ever watched like an action movie with me or a thriller. I will like jump around out of my seat, jump all over the place, and have such a hard time containing any kind of energy to the point where I sometimes have to leave the room for a moment just to calm down.
Wow. Because
I just can't handle the stress. And again, like I've managed up to FNaF 2 Night 2, and that's it. That's
wow, really? FNaF 2 is like the most stressful one.
I had, like, I mean, yeah. Again, like I do feel like I could probably manage the others in some degrees. It's just
FNaF 3 Night 1. Bet you can't.
I have a hard time, like, just like getting over that like mental hurdle of actually even opening one of the games.
Yeah.
Because again, I like playing through FNaF 1 was torture for me. I only did it to be able to say I did it.
And what night did you play up to?
I had no interest in playing it again.
What night did you play up to?
I did actually manage Night 6.
Nice. That's impressive. Well done. Well, yeah, the thing is, for me, it's like a limited and specific thing. And it's really hard to explain. Because it just depends on the specifics. Some games scare me and some don't. I have, like, basically no fear with most of the FNaF games because they're pretty light horror-wise. But FNaF 4, for me, is like the Karamari Hospital DLC of, Spooky's Mansion. Like, I just can't handle it. I freeze up and I look away and it's, like, really intense. And I'm able to play it these days, but you guys can see my streams on that. It's, pretty intense.
Sorry to interrupt. I have to go eat dinner now. I'll be back.
Alright, Lucie, I'll see you in a moment. You have a good one.
Thank you.
I love you. That was weird. Okay, Lucie's AFK now, so I'm going to take the time to respond to chat and stuff. And maybe I could try a very hard challenge while I'm here, because it's really hard to hear when talking to someone in voice chat, but, like, I wasn't expecting to, like, get very far today anyways. So I'm gonna stick to below very hard difficulties, unless it's, like, an easy challenge, like Angry Ballet. Right, Springtrap? Yeah, you get that feeling in your stomach. I know exactly what you mean. It's like a kind of butterflies. It's like a nauseous tension, like a nauseous, like, shiver. It's, yeah, it's an intense physical reaction sometimes. Like, fear can induce a very intense physical reaction. It can do that, you know? And I've had that with a couple games. Again, if you guys saw my Spooky's Mansion Camera Hospital stuff, you'll know I got very scared playing that. Also, I had a hard time with Slender back when I started doing that for every Halloween. You know, the it's just a pretty, like, intense, like, thing, you know. Oops, wrong one. I was gonna say, did they leave yet? I can't see the mouse. I can't see the mouse. Oh my god. Well, anyway, this has been intense and, like, pretty poor performance-wise. So I'm gonna take a minute just to have a break. I think we're about to survive the night, guys. You know what? We're 5 AM. I'm gonna risk it. I'm not even gonna fix the oxygen. I'm gonna risk it. We're close. 6 AM's coming. I can feel it. Any second now. Any second now. Here we go. I'm not gonna leave that shot. I don't need to. That's just dumb. But come on, 6 AM. I know it's close. 6 AM. Let's go. I'm going without the oxygen, boys. It's probably a bad idea actually because of Bonnet. Come on, 6 AM. Where are you? Turn over. The night has got to end. Any moment now. Any moment now. Come on. Any moment now. Come on. Come on, game. There we go. I'm not exactly green running these. I think green running is something that might be worth having a go at. Right, let me catch up with chat, because there's been like a ton of messages that I've just not really responded to again. This stream's been like a bit messy. Also, I'm going to go back to the main menu, because that way I can unlock my mouse. I can free my mouse. So, guys, first of all, thank you for the QOTD answers. I appreciate them. Whoever gives me the best answer, and that which will be judged at the end of the stream, will win a shout-out. And in addition to the QOTD, when we're getting a shout-out, I'm also giving a shout-out to today's charity, which is Kidscape. I like to promote charitable organizations and positive causes on my streams, guys, so please, for the sake of awareness, or, you know, whether you, like, you know, for the sake of awareness, maybe raising some money, if you want to make a donation or just read about Kidscape, someone you know, if you or someone you know is being bullied, I'm scuppering this. Anti-bullying charity, guys. It's a good thing. Check it out, alright? That's all I wanted to say. The game is obviously linked in the description as well. You know, my FNaF survey is there. My social medias are there. If you actually go to my channel banner, though, you'll see something slightly different. My survey isn't here, but if you click this, you'll find it over here on my new channel, Continuity Error. I really need to do a vlog sometime. But yeah, there's going to be new videos coming here soon. We've had, you know, basically, fortnightly uploads. Hopefully in another 7 days I'll have another video up over there. We will see. They do take a lot of time and effort to produce, but, you know, I'm really happy with them. And yeah, check out Lucie. Her Tumblr blog is here. Listen, I'm going to do a quick break. I'm not going to go to, like, you know, the break screen, or maybe I am, but, like, I'm not actually going to go AFK. This isn't going to last long. If you guys just need to get up or anything, now is a good time. This stream has had a messy start, but hopefully you guys are enjoying all the interesting conversations and whatnot we're having. But yeah, definitely check out Lucie's Tumblr if you want to get in touch with her, follow her art. She does good art and they're really talented. She posts some really cool stuff. So just to catch up with chat real quick, because my goodness, I've missed a lot of messages. But yeah, Livy, if you guys, again, if you go get dinner, it is kind of dinner time. My family usually eats dinner pretty late, but I've already eaten, so I'm good. You know, now's a good time. You get up, you do what you gotta do. I'll be right here when you get back. You can always watch this back. But yeah. But yeah, FNaF 3 had the best jump scare sound in my opinion. Fair enough. I mean, you've given yourself the name and profile picture of Springtrap, so I don't know. Yeah, FNaF World is where I got the flip side from. Yeah, underneath one starts playing. Yeah, that's where I got the flip side from. Honestly, I think I actually did respond to all of chat. There's just a lot of things I didn't say in depth in response to Lucie, because I said it all before. You guys already know my opinions on this kind of thing, so I already talked about it. So, let's let's talk something new. I'm just catching up with that. Yes, I was going to point this out earlier, and I mentioned Lucie's bad, but Ethan was saying the custom night menu theme is actually the Forbidden Nocturne with the twinkly instruments removed. It's got like the I don't know what it is, some kind of metallophone, piano, like there's an instrument that's removed. It's just like the bass line. But yeah, I think I've already chosen a QOTD winner, maybe, depending on what we get. But yeah, I'm just going to get back to the game, guys. I don't know how long Lucie's going to be. She probably won't be long, but I'm going to take this opportunity to actually have a go at a more difficult challenge. I'm going to take this time with, you know, less audio in my ears to have a go at another challenge. I think what I want to do is get 3 stars everything and then have a go at doing very hard. Hell, it doesn't have to be quite like that. I should have a go at top shelf. I'll go top shelf hard, okay? Because this is something I can just, like, you know, really listen for, you know? Because we gotta listen. There's 3 characters in this game you gotta listen for: Freddy, Ballora, and Bidybab. And the 3 of them are only together in the max mode, but here we've got Freddy and Ballora, a rarity, so we gotta watch out for that. Foxy's here as well, Yendo is here, and can't tell how close she is. Ballora sounds close. Is she? I can't tell if she's getting closer or further away. Okay. And again, she does the weird thing when you go behind us. So yeah. Girls' Night, I'll definitely give Girls' Night a go. I could do Girls' Night very hard or unhard. I don't know. Yeah. Start a new game later? What do you mean? I already did streams playing through the main campaign as sister locations, so there's really no point doing it again. Man, I can hear Michelle Amos singing, guys. It's Ballora. I can actually hear her voice sometimes. Again, I love how it's like Nightmare Fredbear. Is that a reference? Is that a lore hint? The way Funtime Freddy runs from side to side is exactly like Nightmare Fredbear or Nightmare. Yo. I'm gonna shut the right door for that. Ballora's not like close, but not far either. I can't tell if she's coming or not. Bonnet, that was it. It's Freddy, Foxy, Bonnet, I'm forgetting the roster. I'm forgetting the friggin' roster. But yeah, guys, I've already done streams on those, so check them out. Oh my gosh. Go get him. You want to wait till the voice lines finish to save power, because, like, again, Funtime Freddy, he's like, when he yells that, it's like, well, he, you know, he's, you have to, like, wait that moment. Oh, boy. I don't know if Ballora's coming. I don't know why I'm looking. Looking isn't helping. I might just let Foxy proceed. I don't know. It's a lot of time to have the door shut. You know what, boys? I'm just gonna shut the door and wait. I'm gonna let Foxy charge because he's getting close. All right. Let's see if we can get a consistent pattern here. We need to be checking Foxy more frequently. But yeah, I just realized that Funtime Freddy runs like Nightmare Fredbear. It's like the exact same sound, I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, Ballora's definitely there now. But yeah, guys, I'm not going to be doing the fancy stuff today, but I might take requests. Maybe I could try green running. That's something I could pretty easily do. You know, I'm down to try a blindfold challenge. If I'm focused enough. I think I'm down to try a blindfold challenge today. I don't remember, DJ. If I haven't, I will. Now that I'd forgotten about that completely. But no, I have not. Alright, Noob, I'll see you around, dude. Have a good one. Have a good one, dude. You enjoy now. I see the Yendo Bendo arm. Endo Bendo arm. I see that. I'm catching that. Look at that. 0 frame flip. Too easy. But yeah. But yo, I'm curious. I want to open this to the floor. What do you guys think of Sister Location's kind of like sci-fi addition to FNaF? Something which does bother me, that's not really grounded in the universe, is that, like, how did Afton afford to build this whole, like, bunker? Like, where did he get the money for this, like, military industrial, like, level, like, stuff? And, like, how long did it take? Because, like, it could, like, there's only so much room in the timeline for this to have been constructed and stuff, and it's like, how did he do that, you know? By Nurbert. By Nurbert. That's funny. But yeah, like you know. Perfect timing, boys. All together now. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of crazy to me. That, like, the, oh, excuse me. Because, like, the technology and everything is kind of advanced for the 80s. I don't think it's unbelievable, but I just think the sheer scale and size of the bunker is kind of unbelievable. Because it's like, where did the funding and resources go for that? Or, like, was this, like, bought by Afton Robotics as, like, a pre-existing underground facility? Like, the fact that it's underground is really weird to me. I feel like Sister Location should have been set in, like, an actual circus, like a traveling circus, or just a building that was above surface. I don't know. I always find it weird that it was underground. I guess it does enhance the horror and, like, the atmosphere, but it's like, it's when you start thinking about it, it doesn't really make sense. And we're getting pretty close to 6 AM here, hopefully, because I'm running out of power. Freddy? Freddy, please? Freddy? Freddy, please. I was half expecting a jump scare then for some reason. There we go! We beat the night! I love how Bon Bon kept moving, even though we couldn't do anything. Just, like, would she have gotten us if she was, like, on higher AI? Yeah, but, like, how do pizzeria merch sales fund this? Like, it's just kind of insane. I feel like he must have made some crazy investments or something. Like, that feels like the only feasible explanation, in my opinion, of how something like that could have been achieved. I don't know. It's crazy. And it's got more time. Great. Okay. Tell you what, guys. I'm gonna do something which I know has been requested in the previous stream. Do you guys want to see me do some kind of blindfolded challenge? What could I do? What challenge doesn't require seeing? Let's just think about this. Angry Ballet, I could do blindfolded, theoretically. I could do Angry Ballet blindfolded, but that's maybe too easy. No, Yendo relies on visual, so does Bonnet. Right, what characters, what characters, you know, can I use? Biddy-Bab, Funtime Freddy, Lolbit, the Mini-Arenas, well, Mini-Arena 2. So not Yendo, not Foxy Ballora, not Yendo, Foxy, or Bonnet. I mean, maybe Foxy or Mini-Arena 2, if there's no one else on the cameras. Electrobab, though, no. There's no sound cue for them, unlike the Mini-Arenas. So, no Electrobab, no Yendo, no Bonnet. I think any other challenge is good. So, that's good. Electrobab, Yendo, Bonnet. I'm looking for something without any of them. There are not many. I could do Bottom Shelf. Electrobab, nah. Man, I feel like Angry Bell is the only one you can really do blindfolded. And I've already beaten it on very hard. How about I give, Doll's Attack very hard? Maybe let's try Girls Night. Maybe I should have a go at Girls Night, because I know someone requested that anyway. Bottom Shelf could be done, yeah. Bottom Shelf very hard. Then again, if I'm blind, these guys don't matter. So all I gotta do... Oh, I just gotta be able to set the camera. Okay, let me think about this. I need some kind of blindfold. I could just, instead of blindfolding myself, I could just let the oxygen run down instead. Let me try something here, guys. Let me try something. Instead of actually blindfolding myself, I can do effectively the same thing. I do get this time at the start, because I still need to be able to see to switch the cameras for electroband, but if I just let the oxygen drain, I'm effectively blind. Like, it's really hard to see. Let me just give this a go. Because I know, like, this is a thing where people, like, let the oxygen run down as part of a challenge. I want to give it a go. Ethan, you've really not missed much, honestly. I don't know. This whole stream's a bit of a mess. But I was going to suggest doing something actually blindfolded. But Angry Ballet is the only one I could really actually beat with an actual blindfold. But I'm thinking, what I could do is just, not repair my oxygen. Oh, you did go back. So if I just focus and listen, I could beat, this is bottom shelf very hard, 0 oxygen. It's really hard to see. Like, I can barely see. I can just barely see. Yeah. Nope. I'm struggling to see. I think I got the power there. I literally can't see. The office is kind of clear, but the cameras are not. There it is. So, I realize now that this might not be very much fun to watch. There is one thing I could do. There is one thing I could do. I need to wait for the audio cue here. I don't think I was there. Man, it really is a struggle to see. Like, I can make out a lot of the obvious markers in the office, but the cameras are, it's tough. This man's living with 0 oxygen, right? Like, what the hell is going on here? How is this man living with 0 oxygen? Can you guys even see the game at all? Maybe if you brighten your screen. Just showing both because I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure we just got rid of him. I also can't see the time, like, at all. I have no idea what time it is. I need to conserve power, though. If I'm out of power, that's a GG. I can see, yeah. So that's, oh. Oh, man, that was fast. That was, concerningly fast, but I got the right side with the power. It's because he's already been dead and he's already been scooped. Yeah, it's because we're a zombie. That's what Scott's trying to imply here. It's because we're playing as a zombie. Oh, boy. At least Lobbert's obvious. Lobbert's, like, pretty clear to see. But man, the mini arena laughs. Oh, they're annoying. Little scoundrels. Just kind of focusing here, guys. Really sorry for the lack of commentary. I'm not sure what to say. I'm just all over the place today. I'm going to stop commenting on that and start commenting on the game. So yeah, when Electrobab is in the closet, there's a subtle visual cue in the office where the lights will start flickering stronger than usual. That's really cool. That's a really nice little detail, honestly. Shall we see it? Okay. God. I have no idea how long's left. I don't know what power I'm on. Oh my god, you scared the hell out of me. Lucie, that could have actually ended my game. Dead ass. Oh my god. Lucie. Oh my god, you scary. Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to beat, bottom shelf very hard with no oxygen. I can see, but to a very limited extent. Like, I can only really see the office. And I've got an idea to help this become more entertaining for you guys, considering that there's literally nothing on your screen. Hold on. I need to beat the challenge. Give me a second. I can't do it while I'm tabbed in like this. I'm waiting for the night to end. We're gonna be close. So Lucie, you've never actually played Sister Location, custom night or otherwise.
I have not. No.
Which FNaF games have you actually played? What do you have in your Steam library?
I have pretty much all of them. I did buy all of them. I just don't play them.
Wow, that's a bit of a waste. What am I doing? I mean, I guess you're supporting Scott. Hey, I beat it! Right.
Yeah.
Let me, my mouse is still locked.
That's honestly the main reason. I want to, also, like, in the case that I might be feeling a little courageous.
Lucie's too scary, right?
Uncharacteristically courageous.
Oh, Lucie, look. We're getting a cutscene. So, something which we haven't talked about yet is the 8-bit cutscenes that you unlock for beating the very hard presets in SLCN. What do you think of these? Any comments?
I think they're pretty cool. Like, I love just the fact that he deteriorates over time because it's everything control and his body is rotting.
Yeah.
I also feel like a lot of people have misinterpreted, like, him collapsing and then getting back up at the end. Because, like, I don't know. It's just kind of... A lot of people were like, so he wasn't dead or something? No, he definitely did die. He very much did die.
What did they misinterpret exactly?
And I've seen a lot of people, like say Matt Pat, for example, like... Yes. What the fuck? But I've also seen some people say, oh, no, he actually survived, he's just very battered. Or, like, that, like... I don't know, they only kicked out some parts of Vanner, but part of it is still inside of him, which I'm like, okay, more favorable of, but I feel like what more likely happened is he's kind of haunting his own corpse. Or, yeah, the thesis that he's, like, got pieces of Vanner still in him. But then again, I'm wondering, like, but how much of Vanner is still in it? Like, does he still hear the voices? Like, what's going on there?
Okay, so I have an answer to this. I have an answer to this, which... has been, reinforced by Fazbear Frights, but I had this before Pizzeria Simulator was a thing, because I watched Matt Pat's theories, and I thought he made some good points. Why does Sister Location contain blueprints of the animatronics that can rarely appear in the extras menu? Why would Scott go to the effort of showing us the animatronic blueprints? The point is to explain how Michael is possible. The bits left in Ennard are the ones pointed out to us in the blueprint. How does Michael speak? He's got Funtime Foxy's, like, voice box, right? How is he able to walk? He has Valora's balancing gears, right? Like, there's a connection there which I think is logical. It's an assumption. It's not obviously not confirmed. But this is theory crafting. This is how it works. And I think it's a rational connection to make. I think clearly... The thing about Remnant, the thing about spirits, is that they bond to metal. Metal is a conductor in all appearances, pre and post frights. Haunting has consistently been shown to really bond with metal. Why do they bond to animatronics specifically? Why do they bond to endoskeletons? There's a property of metal that helps conduct energy in all of its forms, even emotional energy. The 0 point feel, that bullshit. But regardless of that, Michael haunting his own corpse doesn't really make sense because, William doesn't haunt his own corpse. He haunts the spring Bonnie suit. Michael clearly has bits of endo still in him. That metal is basically his new skeleton, and that is, that is how he's able to, like, stand and stuff. I'm listening here.
Yeah. I think I phrased myself badly, because, like, that was the position I had initially. Until, like, but especially with the AU comic and the story planning for that, and me delving a lot deeper into the whole Remnant stuff.
If you guys don't know, Lucie is writing an AU comic of a Springtrap Redemption arc. There's a bunch of things, so that's, like, the main one, I think, but it's really interesting. Like a what if kind of thing.
So
okay, I can't find it. I want to put a filter to increase the gamma, guys, but I can't do it, so... Fred, just have to deal with a black screen or something.
So, while we were working on the EU comic, we really wanted to like get into a deeper understanding of William as a character, especially like what drove his motives and how he went about things. And one thing that, funnily enough, like we started theory crafting this stuff around like 2018, like that far back.
Oh, way back, yeah. I've been theory crafting since like, well, it depends how you count it. Yeah, we're going.
It's still so funny to me. I've never read Fast Birth Rights. But like a lot of what's now known about Remnant and how it functions has already been my headcanon since like way back then.
Yeah, Lucie basically predicted agony, emotional energy, 0-point field, not to the letter, but like it's a logical conclusion, and I think it's amazing that Frights has actually like confirmed so much stuff about the games. Right. It's like my favorite thing for lore right now. Like, I don't know. Frights Volumes 1 to 6 are a lore goldmine. Like, they are some of my favorite FNaF content ever produced. Just the best, man. But sorry, you were saying. So, oh my god. Wow. I'd forgotten how bad that jump scare was. Wow. Ah, shit. Sorry. You predicted some of the Fast Birth Rights stuff in your AU. Like the mechanics of Remnant.
It's just immensely funny to me that like without even reading these books, I got to the right conclusion.
60% power.
I genuinely really like.
Well, sorry, I'm just catching up with chat. Her Chubbs is scary in the FNaF one. The stream glitched apparently. Yeah, Girls Night Very Hard is pretty tough. I'm gonna do Weirdos because I don't have to listen for as much. It's mostly visual. I want to hear what Lucie has to say, and I'll prompt you if you have a topic, because I've forgotten.
I can talk about many things.
Yeah.
Because there's many things, I don't know which one to do.
We were talking about so like Mike, how he's like haunted, and like the mechanics of Remnant. Again, this is something that Sister Location introduced, and that Pizza Sim and the books expanded on a lot, and I think again that's another great thing Sister Location did. I love that there's actually an explanation, and like FNaF has its own version. It's not just spirits can haunt bodies. It's like it's got its own unique take on the idea of the dead haunting metal bodies, and I love that.
There's rules to it.
Yeah, it's like it's got a consistent logic.
Yeah.
Wait, what is happening?
I think something that I especially love is that it's manipulatable. And like that this is something that we must have been working towards. Like figuring out how to control this phenomenon.
Yes,
because,
it's like
I'm
everything is
fairly certain. I'm almost 100% certain that when he killed Charlie, it was not with the intent of having her haunt like the puppet. I think that was pure coincidence.
Yeah.
And then after that, like when he realized that that's what happened, because like if you think about it, like he knows that her like bracelet is linked to the puppet because he works there, and he probably also worked on the puppet. And he knows that he killed her, and he knows where he dumped her corpse, and he knows where they found that stuff. And the fact that it's acting weird, and acting weird specifically towards him, must have really tipped him off to like there's something being more behind this. And I feel like there's such a good story to be made about this whole like progression from observing this and wanting to recreate it, and then like starting to do experiments like maybe on animals first, like little critters and stuff, and then finding some successes, like figuring out that metal works the best, and that there's a little bit of manipulation that you can like kind of enforce by applying like heat or electricity or whatever. But also that it's not like getting the desired effect, because Charlie is very much like conscious. Like as we keep getting described, she's always thinking, and even when we get her voice lines later down the line, we get like a sense that she is thinking. She has like conscious thought.
Yeah.
And I like to think that William was like trying to achieve that kind of lucidity with this artificial immortality that he was chasing after, but couldn't get it. Like he kept not being able to like tell if this like I don't know dog he just put into this machine actually is like conscious, or if it's just acting on instincts because it can't speak. So then to progress and think, okay, so what other like factors could I like conjure in order to replicate this phenomenon? kill kids. They're also weak, they're helpless, they're easy to manipulate, and they're like, he's not very physically strong, I don't think, so it'd be easy for him to overwhelm them.
Something
and
that's
sneaky about it because he knows the restaurant.
yeah.
But I feel like the first murder, at least Susie, was like more of like him taking a chance than like premeditated.
I was gonna say, like,
murder.
something that is actually consistent across all FNaF media is that Afton has been depicted as a coward. He's weak.
Oh, absolutely,
And
100%.
the thing about I mean, Sarah, you're about the timeline and his motives and everything. There's so much going on. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Crap. It was
but like him.
Go
him being a coward is especially like. He's been so consistently portrayed as a coward and as somebody who hides behind masks in order to avoid taking responsibility for actions, and like doing the most cowardly way of going about this experiment stuff. It's just that's why it feels so wrong to me when people portray him as this like super overly confident showman, because I'm like, either that's like a really convincing mask that he keeps on non-stop, which is unrealistic, or you're just misunderstanding this character as a whole.
Yeah, we can't really say with authority, but if you look at the novels, I think it's pretty much all there. I think Scott, Afton of the novels, is what Scott intended for the games. I just wish it had been better written, but that's just my opinion.
I really don't like how you're written in the books at all. I liked some concept, like the fact that he's really like incredibly scared of dying, and I like that he was definitely sneaky about things, and I like the whole stuff that has been elaborated on.
I remember what I was gonna say. Go on.
I hate how he acted in the first level, like this whole like snarky, sneaky bullshit. Like that would have been fine if he hadn't kidnapped Carlton, because like that is such a dumb fucking move. Like, why would you blow your cover to kidnap some teen just to rant at them how much you know about spring locks? Like, what was the point?
Yeah, man.
What was the point besides being a plot device to bring all the other characters back to this, like, place? There's none. There's no reason for him to do that specifically. It's stupid. And then the second one, to have the whole, like, they're on spring trip now, like, it just felt so silly.
Oh, God, don't remind me. Twisted One sucked.
Destroyed the immersion.
Ruined the character for me. I was gonna say, though, I remembered earlier that Into Madness was something I would love to see in more depth in an official FNaF game, which sadly we're never gonna get, looking at things, is like an actual in-depth, you know, like, or maybe not necessarily from the perspective of Afton, but a more in-depth investigation of his journey as a character, and how he, you know, goes further and further to more and more extremes, and making more, there we go, beat the night, making more and more excuses to validate his crimes, for like some end result he's chasing. I love that idea of like a downward spiraling, like tragic villain kind of thing. There's like so much potential. Also, we got another cutscene. Mike's eyes are black.
Didn't handle that well.
Yeah.
I just feel like the novels don't handle it well, especially like in the third book. Like to continue on from where I stopped earlier, because
me on my way to school be like, yeah, go on.
In the third one, I just kind of like, I don't know. I don't like the like Bond villain style he was portrayed, and then the fact that he just like decided to just ram the syringe with like multimetal, however that's physically possible, I don't understand.
Right,
then ram it in some random teenager's heart and inject it to see what happens because YOLO. I don't know. That's such a weak motive to do.
Again, it's Carlton again.
Way of being written.
He's just picking. He's always. He's jealous. Because Carlton's by far the best character in the novels. So he's just, like, getting all the contrived plot points just so we can have scenes with him. I was just gonna say, like, yeah, that was so dumb. Crap, I keep forgetting what I was gonna say. How the hell does a syringe hold molten metal? That syringe thing is so dumb, it doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Also, just saying, I don't like the idea that the novel trilogy introduced that he's a horrible father who like hated his kids and would like preferably just work with machines all the time, because I feel like it does not line up with what we see in game, and I feel like that would just make him like a really flat character.
He's novel Afton is not game Afton. Like, they're not completely 100% the same.
Obviously,
but yeah,
obviously, but like so many people make them one and the same.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. We
like,
don't have a lot in terms
I
of game.
I get why, because exactly we don't have a lot, but I also feel like a lot of people like apparently lack the critical thinking skills of like differentiating which factors do not line up with the evidence from the game, and that kind of bugs me sometimes.
What do you mean,
I feel like it could be. It's just there's a lot of people who are like, oh yeah, he doesn't care about his children at all. He doesn't care about his family. He hates them actually, and he's like super abusive, and that's the way they write him. And I'm like, okay, but consider the like possibility for depth and complex, like psychology in this guy.
What from the games contradicts that though?
The fact that he didn't want Elizabeth to die and kept telling her, "Hey, don't go near baby," and the fact that the whole project was shut down after the I guess quote unquote first time baby got on stage,
and maybe the Fredbear plush thing, depending on the theory you believe. Although I think it's much more complicated than either, because Midnight Motorist shows him being clearly abusive to his kids. You know, although I know Midnight Motorist is. You know, something.
To be honest, Midnight Motorist has been boggling my fucking mind ever since I first saw it, and I've chosen to kind of ignore it for the most part, just like cherry picking aspects of it that I feel like could fit. But on that kind of, I don't know. I feel like he did love his children at some point, but I also feel like
Cupcake Challenge.
There has been a turning point, like in his psyche, where he cared more about his work than them and neglected them, and then neglect and no mother being around to take care of these two. Like after say Elizabeth and after Elizabeth died, there was nobody to really look after these two because their mom was also gone.
Yeah.
And he just kept holding himself up in his project, being so obsessed with this idea of like somehow like finding this artificial mortality, even more now that he lost his daughter, that he neglected these two boys. So they had no supervision whatsoever, so the pranks that the older brother pulled on the younger brother kept escalating, and it ended to a point where it became lethal because he neglected them, because he was drowning himself in his work. I feel like that's the point where it became abusive, but more in the sense of neglect than actually going out of his way to harm these two. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are like misinterpreting as him just being genuinely abusive and like, I don't know, beating them up or whatever the fuck. And I'm like,
He beats Elizabeth in Fourth Closet. Like, he literally does that multiple times.
That's specifically what I hate. That's specifically the criticism I'm levying here. Because like people saw that in the novels, right? And they were like, oh, so he must be abusive in the games too. But then like, I don't know, I just don't feel it fits in the game still. Sorry. That he beats her up and like hates her so much. Like,
I will say the novels lack any reference or mention of the rest of the family. No Mike, no Evan, whatever his name is. You know, it's weird. And also, can I just say, Ethan, yes, the progression of Michael is me Monday to Sunday to school. And Carlton's back probably hurts from carrying the novels. He was like the only thing that kept me reading, honestly. Kind of sad, but it is what it is. It's a weekly ritual to turn, pink and green. Amazing, purple and green. Anyway, I
mean, DJ, I know about the secret. I just don't know how the hell to interpret this minigame.
Like, I think we gotta.
No way it rhymes with anything else I have on the lore.
I think we gotta start with what we know for a fact. Mustard Man is William Afton. It's weird, it doesn't make sense, but Mustard Man is William Afton. You've got the later that night dialogue. You've got, the what was I say? Purple car. The house is the FNaF 4 house from the Knights of FNaF 4. Everything else just kind of falls from there. I wouldn't worry about it too much. Yeah. Yeah, Afton's personality is just very hit and miss in the novels as well. It just goes through, like, these weird stages that, like, don't make any sense. It's completely artificial, like, the way it's, like, set up. Like, I don't know why it's structured the way it is.
Generally, I feel like the novel trilogy was written in a way that, like, what I feel like, right? Like, this is just me guessing, but I feel like Scott had, like, an outline written out that he then handed to somebody who actually writes for a living. But that person doesn't really like know much about the actual lore and know much or care much about these games, so they just took the plot points he gave them and then kind of wrote those out as best as they could. but there were so many points where it really, like, where it felt like I'm looking at a skeleton that has, like, a tarp thrown over it to cover up the fact that it's a skeleton, but it's still, like, really bare bones. Like, there's so many moments where I feel like there could have been so much more, like, depth and, like, agency and, like, proper plot, but instead they chose to make the killer kidnap Carlton, because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Just to have him brag about spring locks and like how much he knows about them, and look at me, I'm such a survivor, bitch. It's just stupid. There's so many points that could have been so much better. Like, if there had actually been a reason why Carlton specifically, that could have been an interesting idea, because so far, what I see, right? You have this guy who has been successfully in hiding for like a decade now. And now he's
10 years.
starting to cause trouble, and then specifically kidnapping the police chief's son. Like,
so dumb.
Can you figure out a worse way to blow your cover just to brag?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I was gonna say, yeah, I don't think William should be a Dr. Robotnik kind of villain. Like, I like Robotnik, but you know, that's more to it than that.
Should be more serious and sinister kind of a villain, and not the cartoony child. Like,
I will say though, in response to that creeper, the thing about FNaF 3 is that with the original 3 or 4 FNaF games, there was no Afton. You know, the word Afton didn't exist in the FNaF lore. So I disagree with your argument, not because I think FNaF 3 depicted Purple Guy badly, but because, you know, he wasn't a character at that time. He didn't have a personality. He was just, you know, the mysterious purple guy, and he was vaguely threatening.
I do like, though, that, like, he didn't need a personality to be a good character, because we had this guy who committed these awful crimes.
When Afton was better without a personality than when he did have one, like, what the hell is that? It's so backwards.
Yeah.
Why is he better with no personality?
That's part of why I'm so biased about my own interpretation of this character. I know for a fact this is not at all what the author intended, like what Scott intended with this character, and it's not what the novel writers intended with this character, but it's what I think would make the best kind of story, given the circumstances, that still kind of fit with the plot and the mystery behind FNaF and the motives and all that jazz. And that's why I love exploring this character so much. There's so many things that could be so damn interesting had they been taken, like, had the creators taken the chances to elaborate on that, but it didn't. And that's kind of, I guess I'm kind of like over like balancing that by just making like my interpretation of him as fleshed out as I possibly can, including like every bit of motive, every like shift in personality and psyche, and like how it goes from one place to the other.
The thing
I
is,
have, like, an explanation for everything.
Well, this is the thing.
Not the canon one.
FNaF is this sprawling multimedia franchise now, and in regards to Afton, its main villain, there is so much information and alternate versions of him, and small details that could imply or hint at a whole number of things. And it's just so underdeveloped and underexplored, which is the really sad thing. There's so much like crap on the surface level that doesn't make sense. There's so much that just is left out of the games and left of the books. And I think one of the best things Fright did was completely sideline Afton. Afton doesn't speak once in... Does it, like, when does he even appear? You know, like, he has, like, one appearance, if you can even count that. Like, it's all very, I don't know. Yeah, I just... The really sad thing, the reason I don't like Springtrap / Afton is because there's never really been a good version of this character. He didn't peak, he didn't fall, like, they're never... Springtrap peaked when he didn't have a personality or a backstory.
Yeah.
And, like, that's a shame. That is a real shame. Right? Freddy getting sidelined after FNaF 2 is sad.
I'm doing the comic.
Lucie, shall we show off some of the comic?
I'm doing the comic.
Can we show off some of the comic on the stream?
I don't know if we can show some of the comic, because, like,
Is it not public?
We have not posted anything beyond the pilot pages, and even those I've kind of taken off public because we got harassed by an admin a while back.
That sucks.
So you cannot locate them anymore.
Well, guys, if you want to know what Lucie's art style looks like, I'm gonna go to Lucie's Instagram so you can see what a drawing of Springtrap looks like to give you a taste.
Hold on.
Because the AU comics are pretty
I can
sweet.
give it. I think I can give a sneak peek.
Ooh, sneak peek, exclusive sneak peek. Okay. I'll take an exclusive sneak peek.
I'm gonna remove the text on the image.
Yep. Yep. Alright.
But like, hold on. I'm gonna put it in Hydration Nation in the creators.
Nice.
Content.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lucy. By the way, guys.
This is,
go on.
what hopefully will be consistently the style of the comic.
Right.
It's too detailed, I'm aware of that, but I'm putting this on myself.
I just want to say, guys, we're an hour and 3/4 into the stream. I'm probably going to go for another 45 minutes-ish. If you are enjoying the stream, like, share, subscribe. Support means a lot. I'm not going to go on about it. I don't feel like that today, but yeah, here is a taste. Look at this. This is the kind of thing that Lucy draws, and yes, this is over-detailed, but there's a taste of what the comic's going to look like. This is how she draws Springtrap. Enjoy.
Yeah. So,
right, Livy?
So the main plot is gonna follow, like, William, like, during the whole, like, safe room bullshit, and just to showcase that, like, he's not just sitting there existing. We're also gonna explain why he can't move, why he didn't escape for so long, like, what went through his head during that time, all the things he's, like, feeling, and how that's, like, changing over time, like him reflecting on the past, all that jazz, just to, like, establish the psyche more.
Yeah, well, how William's transforming into Springtrap, you know?
Yeah, and, like, unlike the games where I feel like he's just given up and given into the whole monster persona, we're gonna spin this whole thing a little bit further.
He let himself go.
We changed the plot point about Michael going to the sister location in that he never received the information to go there, so he never went, and he lived. So there's this whole plot of, like, Michael ending up living with Henry, and them trying to solve what happened, and
it's very
trying to figure out what happened with William, and then William just, like, shows up one day as Springtrap because, like, he didn't know where else to go, because, like, there's somebody living in his house now, so where else does he have left to go?
Yeah.
Everything he's ever worked through is just basically destroyed, at least to his knowledge. There's nothing he wants to achieve anymore. He's a lifeless shell of himself. He can't feel anything physically, and he's been in that room for ages. Like, where else would he go?
I may or may not have seen scripts, drawings.
Yes.
I may have even done some peer review and editing of this story.
Actually.
I'm not working on it, but I've been an assistant to Lucy and Olivia, who is the other person who's working on this.
Ultimately,
very talented.
Ultimately, it's the puppet that's going to intervene and kind of show them, like, hey, listen, you need to fix this. You did this. You have to be the one to fix this. And then he actually does try and start to fix things. It's a hard, rocky road, but he is slowly but surely, like, I guess, bringing peace to the remnants of souls that are still strewn about the place. Until eventually he gets free himself. And it's never about, like, escaping punishment, although he's definitely, in my interpretation at least, a person who grew up very religious and so has this, like, really intense instilled fear of going to hell for his actions, and that's also part of the whole thing of him, like, letting go of that over time. It's just we're trying to make it, like, an actual redemption arc that makes sense and works despite the severity of the crimes he committed, because that's definitely something that we're not excusing in the slightest.
I was gonna say, guys, two things. One, good stuff, Lucy. Also, GG Sigma female in chat. That's what you are. You're typing? Hello?
I'm answering something in the chat. In the creator content chat.
So, I'm looking through the challenges here, guys, and there's actually not that much left. I don't want to drag this out longer than I need to. We've almost already done all the challenges, and I kind of can't believe it. All you need to do is Funtime Frenzy, Dolls Attack, Girls Night, Top Shelf, Cupcake Challenge, and Golden Freddy. I can't believe, I can't believe how much progress we've actually made today, so I still want to keep going for 2.5 hours. So I'll tell you what, guys, I wasn't planning to do this, but I think what I'm actually going to try and do today is go all in, get the cutscenes, and basically do everything except for some of the very hard challenges. And if you guys are worrying, you know, I'm not gonna beat this, if I'm honest with you. But I could still do a couple more streams with like custom challenges, like actually trying second keyboard strats, actually blindfolded, green runs. I could do so much more like experimental stuff with this, which might be worth looking into next time. Because I'm progressing much further than I thought I would, but I'm just going to keep going with it for now, and I think I'm going to have a go at it. I'm going to do one last challenge that isn't very hard, just Girls' Night hard, because no very hard on Girls' Night is insane. But yeah, Nuba, I'm assisting on tons of things. I can't even tell you about all the things, there's nothing huge, but I keep myself busy. Let's just say, I haven't collaborated with... No, I'm not going to say, no. I'm not gonna, no. You'll find out. Writing is a thing I do sometimes. Non-fiction, usually. I wouldn't worry about it. I'm gonna try Girls' Night hard.
One last thing about the comic. We're currently 22 pages in terms of production. And there's 10 more pages left to go before we start actually posting them officially.
Nice.
We just wanted to have like 5 updates worth of content first before we start posting, so we have some buffer time in between to work on other pages. But we have so much. We have so freaking much.
5 is like, a good number.
We have like, yeah, we have 61 pages sketched out in total, and that's all like up to the point where he actually gets transported into the Passport Fright building, and that's like the beginning of the story. We have so much plot for this. Right,
it's huge. It's pretty long. It's like 20 chapters or something. It's insane.
Yeah, we have written out the entire plot beforehand. Like, we still have to work out some scripts and some specific dialogue, but we're doing that on the side. Oh, there's also gonna be Easter eggs and like little hidden like codes and passwords.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about this. That's gonna be fun.
Bonus content that you might discover, so I can code it. Like, it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a cool thing for those who are interested.
Yeah, definitely. Again, it's gonna be like a real, just astonishing piece of fan art. I'm really excited to see it come to fruition. Like, this is gonna be historic, you know, for the FNaF community. I really hope it gets the attention it deserves. I will share it on like Reddit, you know. I'll put it out there for sure when the time comes.
Oh yeah, because I'm feeling a vibe now. I'm gonna also share like how I'm gonna draw Ghost William, because that's also gonna be well, not really an included, I guess, aspect. It's more just to showcase his emotions a little bit better.
I will show it on the stream when I'm able to, because I can't really tab out of the mouse locked game.
Because like he's very much bound to the body. Like he cannot move at all.
Quite literally.
Yeah. This suit may or may not have glitched out in a way that is irreparable without a manual reset when he cannot perform because he's incapacitated.
And he's inside the suit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lucie,
He's just stuck there.
If you've not got any more topics to talk about, I've thought of something that I want to cover before the stream ends. Because again, I'm gonna go for another 45 minutes. I don't know if you have to leave at any point, but we got plenty of time. But there is something I was thinking about specifically, because the sister location custom night, right? I'm really confused at why Scott made the nights non-canon, because I don't see how they can't be canon. You ever thought about that?
I think it's the fact that all of these characters are here, the fact that there's like this funky amount of rooms that these characters are just somehow inside of, despite like having been, I guess, like enclosed in their own like individual rooms before, with the only connecting room being the scooping room. So it's like I get why. And I feel like there's definitely some hints and like bits and pieces. But I feel like for the most part, the canon and quote unquote the canon part of this would really only be the secret room part of the actual FNaF system location gameplay, and the custom night just being like a fun little extra mechanic thing for replayability.
Yeah. Because we know the fake ending of sister location doesn't happen, but that doesn't mean it's not canon. It has information that pertains to canon. Like, the private room still exists, even if Mike never, in the story, actually goes there, right? And the thing is, right, I looking at this and think, well, what is the purpose of the private room? What's the point? Like, why does this exist the way it is? And I wonder if maybe Afton used this to test animatronics. For,
That is literally what I was gonna say.
Go, you first, you first.
I feel like...
Say brain, question mark?
I feel like this is... Yeah, I feel like this is definitely surveillance. In the sense that, like... Maybe... And this is, like, a new, like, theory moment. Like, I'm making this up on the fly because I had a brain thought, like, maybe...
I get it, it happens.
Maybe the bits we play in during FNaF 4, because the house in FNaF 4 in the night has a very strange layout. What if that part is underground with the sister location, and above that is the real house where they actually live?
Oh, maybe. That, I don't know, man, that's
like,
pretty
funky.
funky.
This is, like, directly connected, and the secret room is directly connected to that, which is why it shows that map. Because this is the surveillance room where he tested those animatronics on him.
Yeah.
In the bedroom. With the illusion discs.
Right, here's the thing, right? Like, regardless of what you think theory-wise, jeez. I'm gonna take the L and get Foxy to attack. I was just gonna say, there are all kinds of things Afton could be testing animatronics in this space for. Again, setting up the FNaF 4 situation, because we know from the novels, illusion discs, you know, that wasn't a nightmare, that was real. Or maybe it was a nightmare, it was both. It's kind of weird. Oh god.
I feel like in a sense, right, the illusion discs kind of are just devices that bring your nightmares into
plot
your vision
devices
as a
that don't make sense.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like in this sense, like, the illusion discs are the nightmare come true.
Yeah.
So I feel like on one hand it isn't real because obviously the designs are very fantastical and exaggerated, but at the same time, like, that could be like the nightmare, the dream part. But then again, there are still these, like, silhouettes, these, like, figures are still bound to real beings that haunt these hallways in the form of animatronics, actual animatronics that are equipped with these things. So I feel like it's both nightmare and real.
Sorry, I am listening. Yeah, that I think
I just saw your reaction on stream to win.
FNaF 4 is complicated, so I'm not gonna address that. That was the closest win ever. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I was just gonna say, like, the thing is, right. This room could be, the reason it's a private room is because it's where Afton does the secret stuff that, like, no one else can know about, right? Surely this is where he tests, you know, how animatronics respond to remnant or specific, like, stimuli while, you know, having X amounts of remnant. It could be, like, specific functions for, you know, capturing, you know, children for harvesting remnant, or, like, you know, seeing how they behave as, like, hostile animatronics intended to scare, you know, the kid in FNaF 4 or whatever, you know. Could be him just containing them somewhere. Well, I mean, I guess the whole place is contained, but, like, there's a bunch of things that could be tested here, right? And you know, stuff maybe we don't even really know about. And the FNaF fan game Fazbear Tycoon actually tried to work this into canon, into its own AU. With, like, these, like, Afton Robotics logs about how each animatronic behaves, like, taking the game mechanic and giving, like, a canonical reason to exist. As it's like, oh, here's an animatronic that can, you know, manipulate energy. You know, here's an animatronic that can manipulate oxygen. I can't remember the reasoning. It was something, it made sense reading it. But it was like, that's such a cool idea. Why can't this work in canon? This could be a prequel to Sister Location, where Afton is, like, experimenting on the animatronics, you know, yeah, before Mike goes and, like, works
for the
there.
bonus material, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I know you'd have to add a ton of padding to make it work, because isolated on its own, it's just a random thing disconnected. So, like, I'm fine with it not being canon, but I feel like it has the potential, right? This situation could make sense. Maybe details changed, but yeah.
Also, funny you should say that, like, the secret room would be a place where we keep, like, all the secrets and stuff. That's literally where Henry's gonna find the logs in the comics.
Exactly, yeah. So it's like, yeah, this is, you know, exactly. This is like pre-SL, pre-scoop. This is like, again, it is weird how Baby is absent. Maybe that is itself, you know, part of the whole thing. But, like, again, details like that you could adapt into, like, a canonized interpretation. This would be pretty cool. I don't know. But yeah, like, scrapped characters. We know that Lolbit and Yendo actually exist in Sister Location. Lolbit might have been a scrapped concept. There's a mask that can appear. Maybe it's a hallucination. Yendo may just be a hallucination, or there may actually be a yellow-eyed, you know, Freddy endoskeleton that ended up in Ennard as well. I can only presume. We know there's multiple Biddy Babs. One of them could have been Electrobab. There's 2 mini arenas. I mean, the only one here which I can't see, you know, fitting into the main game is Bonnet. But again, could just be like an unseen, unused, you know, Bon remake. Again, and who's to say all of these characters necessarily had Remnant injected to them in the main game? Maybe Yendo had no Remnant put in them, which is why he's never referenced later on, you know? It's just like, again, one of those things. Because I think SL was all about kind of expanding the idea of this laboratory. There's all these different experiments going on. It's a little bit crazy.
And this is a concept we're more following in the comic.
Let's do this.
Again, sorry.
Go on. Tell us about it. I love hearing it.
One thing that we have William experimenting in this location is to splice Remnant, to split it up into pieces, and then use the different pieces on different animatronics to see if it could, like, power them. Because, like, Remnant is not only the soul, but it's also an energy source, an indepletable, endless energy source, a self-contained energy source. So, to be able to use that to run animatronics and like be able to like manipulate and program them into different functions, could be a game changer, but also extremely fucked up. So I feel like this is like at the end, I guess like towards the end, before he flips out so hard that he goes back to the very first location, beats up those animatronics and dies because he's so paranoid. So I feel like that's like at the end where he's like at the breaking point of his psyche.
Oh yeah.
And he does that.
William Afton, in, like, FNaF 1 and 2, FNaF 2 and 3, sorry, is, like, you know, novel trilogy crazy, you know, William Afton, but, like, actually, you know, that makes sense. Like, I can imagine him being, like, totally, like, sweating, just, like, friggin', like, sweating and panicking and, like, living in total paranoia. I've got a whole, like, bunch of theories and headcanons, and Lucie and I pretty much agree on all that, but the thing I want to talk about, I love how Ethan keeps quoting that old meme. William literally be like, what we want is the fellow children. It gets even better. Such a dumb meme. I love that you still remember that. But yeah, I was going to point out, I just noticed while you were gone, Lucie, that Funtime Freddy, when he's moving left and right in the custom night, it's exactly like Nightmare Fredbear in FNaF 4. I'm pretty sure it might even be the exact same sound. Like the way he goes left and right. It's FNaF 4 Night 5 all over again. Which is making me wonder, like, is there a connection there? Because I do think this is supposed to be connected.
Wait, hold on. Wasn't there, like, a quote from Scott or something at some point that, like, I don't know, was it Nightmare or Nightmare Fredbear? That, like, one of them is actually real. Like, it could be Endo. It could literally be Endo.
Yeah, honestly, there's a bunch of theories, like, because illusion discs, you know, change appearances, any of the fun times could be any of the nightmares. I actually have my own theory that the nightmares are the Wizards pre-FNaF 2.
Oh yeah, same.
But that's like, that's a big, you know that theory. It's a big, long story, guys, and I actually explained it
makes sense,
in my
though.
video. Yeah. If you guys watch,
it makes sense because, like, if you...
Sorry. Can I promo for a second?
Sorry.
Guys, if you watch Where Was Freddy Fazbear, Track and Trace Episode 1 on Continuity Error, you can get a full explanation of this theory. You're welcome to ask questions if you want further clarification. But sorry, Lucie, go on.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at, like, just along the behavior patterns of these characters, you have, like, Chica, who always comes from the right, like she does in FNaF 1, and it's the exact same, like, map setup, too. And you have Bonnie always coming from the left, and then you have Freddy, like, just appearing somewhere behind you at some point, because you just sneak in. In this case, I feel like that's a bit more of a stretch with the Freddles.
Yeah, what are the Freddles? If Freddy is with Freddy, then what are the Freddles? That's what I don't get. I can't answer that.
I think maybe the Freddles don't necessarily have anything directly to do with Freddy, and they're more like, they make noise, and the noise is what agitates him. Maybe
they're, like, not even real, they're just an extension of Freddy, or, like, they're little creatures like Plushtrap or Biddy Bab or Mini Rena, you know, like,
and to be fair, if you're that sleep deprived, and there's, like, the high-pitched, inaudible sound of the illusion discs all around you all the time, you're gonna see fucked up things.
Yeah, it makes people like nauseous. We see that all the time in the novels.
Yeah.
At least they're consistent with the concepts, even if the story is.
Yeah.
That's what I like the novels
there's so many
for. Concepts.
There's so many concepts that I really liked about the novel trilogy. I just hate the writing and how some things were, especially the dialogue and the personal, like,
Yeah, it was so cringe.
dialogue between characters was just.
Yeah, I get it.
There were some good bits. There were some good bits, but a lot of them just felt like too weak. And again, there's so many concepts I really like, especially the whole like William being like so like horrendously, like aggressively jealous of Henry. I like that concept, and that's something else implemented a lot. There's
Literally,
so many good like ideas.
Honestly, if I just interject here, the possible like original motive of William Afton, jealousy of Henry, it is vaguely referenced once in the Silver Eyes, and that detail is vaguely referenced once in the Ultimate Guide, like the Freddy Files. And it's like, that's like, that could be like, something that the entire, like, story hinges on. It's like, people overlook it because it's such an obscure detail. Like, I didn't remember it till Lucie pointed it out to me one time, but, in the novels, Afton has a journal, a diary, which, we don't ever actually get to read, but that, Clay Burke, he finds and describes as, containing, basically, like, the ravings of a madman. It's got, like, you know, everything from, you know, godlike worship and praise to, like, you know, hateful, like, jealousy of Henry, just, like, scribbled in it. It's like, it's like a one-line thing, blink and you'll miss it, but it's like, that could be, like, why can't we get, like, the Journal of William Afton? Release that as a book, the Journal of William Afton. That would be a lore goldmine. That'd be so cool. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I mean, it is in progress in fandom if you count my writing.
Yeah, yeah, and hey, there's always the fan verse. When Ambience was talking to him, Kane mentioned books. There's no concrete ideas for books in the fanverse, but they could make some, and Pop Goes is lore heavy, and they have their own version of William Afton and stuff. I don't think he even called Afton, but... But yeah, you know, Lucie, I'd love to see the fandom, of course, deliver on what official content can't. It's what we do best. And here's another cutscene, I think.
I can't freaking wait to actually finally fucking start releasing this stupid comic that we've been working our asses off on, and then like have people find the bonus content, and like I want to see them react to that and what they think, because like I'm going so in depth with those.
I love these guys' faces. I love how darkly funny these cutscenes are. These dudes are just like, this man is not getting even better. He is not with the fellow children. But anyway, Lucie, you were saying, I'm just going to catch up with chat. I remember, of course, the Observatory Breaker Room map lore. Yep. Maybe Ethan, I don't know. Maybe Baby, again, Afton, because Baby's haunted by his daughter. He has a soft spot for Baby, and he doesn't, like, experiment with her quite as much. He just kind of, like, keeps her in her room. Because she's also, like, the most deadly. The most intelligent. Yeah, interesting.
I'm considering of like.
Is that Ethan? Hello, Killer Vanderburg. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, I never showed off the image, guys. Hold on. Lucie posted another image. Again, if you join the Discord server, you can see all this kind of thing. You can meet all the content creators and collaborators and the members of the community. You can get updates from my streams. I highly recommend check them out. Look at how high quality this stuff is. My goodness. And yeah. Yeah. Yeah, honestly, Springtrap's Loving Flesh was always a weird detail. Again, not even gonna talk about that.
See, when I'm drawing these characters, I am definitely trying to implement as much from canon as I can.
You're doing FNaF but more realistic.
In which case...
It's FNaF Plus.
Yeah. Like, in which case, I would absolutely omit the bullshit parts and make it more realistic, if possible.
Right? Like, the same way that Fiznom is trying to ground FNaF in terms of, like, graphics, you're trying to ground FNaF, make it realistic in, like, the storytelling regard, which is a really good thing to do.
Yes.
I know a lot of smart people. I'm so glad, like, I've met people like Haraburger and you, who are just kind of, like, really engaged with this on a higher level than me. Because as a theorist, you have opened my mind to going even further than just trying to craft theories, but also creating my own headcanon and, like, ideas for filling in the blanks where there just is no solution or information. But no, it's the same sound as Nightmare Foxy. And yeah, that's true. The Freddles are physically attached to Freddy. Maybe they're just like, you know, the Freddles themselves don't exist.
Maybe there's illusion discs in the plushies too, or like some kind. Ooh, idea. What if they're actually just like more like surveillance devices?
Yes.
But they're also affected by the illusion discs, and like maybe there's a frequency that they have that end up like reverberating the illusion disc stuff.
Could do Doll's Attack. I'm just going through the challenges, which I've not done on very hard, guys. It's I just want to say, it's surprising how easy a lot of these are to me, because again, I beat them all before, back in 2016, pretty much, so that's what's going on with that. And give me a second, I need to stretch my arm. Heckin'. But yeah, yeah, maybe they're plushies, like people have speculated, because there's like a Foxy turns into a plushie in FNaF 4. Which is a weird detail.
And the Freddles are also technically plushies on the bed.
Yeah, so maybe they're all... You know, maybe there's plushies. It's weird. I don't know.
I mean,
FNaF 4...
we know there's one plushie
weird.
on the bed.
Yeah, there is one. Yeah, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Anyway, sorry about that. So yeah, we're bussing through these challenges though. Like, we're getting a lot of these. Doll's Attack. Let's do this. Easy. And yeah, sorry Lucy, what are we talking about now? We're talking about so much like FNaF lore. I love we're doing a FNaF lore deep dive with Lucy. It's always really interesting. I mean, this is all stuff we've both talked about before, but I really want to get your guys' thoughts. This is why I'm not saying as much, because I've heard all of this before. I'm curious what you guys think, and I love seeing your responses. So yeah, tell me what you think of what Lucy's saying.
I've generally been thinking... I've generally been thinking of just like writing some kind of like big analysis piece on William Afton as a character and the possibilities of that. Like, I feel like I should just like have it out there somehow, because I'm always like alluding to things I know and think and feel like and stuff like that, but I never like have like a cohesive document to point people to. But I feel like there's also some niche theories that like only I follow, like the whole like Mary thing, you know?
Like there's a lot of like theories that everyone knows because they're MatPat's theories, or they're big in some way, and it's like, you know, they're well known. But there's also tons of obscure theories that like you yourself have actually come up with. Like, I've actually come up with my own FNaF theories, guys, but some of them are really obscure. Like, Nightmare is Shadow Freddy, you know, the nightmares are actually the withered things. There's a bunch of small things, which I've actually come up with myself, which aren't necessarily like mine, like I'm not the only person, but, let's see, what's like an original theory that one of us came up with?
Fun fact, y'all. One of my original theories, which is that there has been, like, that Michael had a twin sibling that's disappeared.
Oh, yeah!
Which is what kicked off, like, William's big spiral in the first place. To even get to the point where he kills Charlie. That's the theory that ended up like making Matthew message me for the first time.
Yeah.
Like I alluded to that in my Instagram story. I responded to it, and I ended up theory talking, and that's how we connected for the first time.
Yeah. So romantic.
Just like a random little fun fact.
So we are just a pair of nerds. But seriously, if it were not for Scott and FNaF, I would have met Lucy. Mind blowing.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for friggin' Biddy-Bab here.
In theory, Nightmare Fredbear is a nightmare version of Fredbear. Mind blow.
Wow.
Sad. Brings up in sad. Just saying. Doesn't take you credit for that.
Come on, man. Biddy-Bab has so much RNG. It's kind of crazy. But I was just gonna say as well, the crap, I forgot. I remember.
Does anyone in chat have any questions to either of us?
Oh, yeah, I remember this. I remember this now, yeah. I actually have a theory which is kind of radical because it kind of alters the early timeline a bit, but I feel like there's something in it which isn't fully ever explained, and that I'm kind of not sure on the details of. But I think the child that goes missing in stage 1 in the game universe might be Sammy, which could be, you know, Charlie's twin brother or sister or whatever. But it's like, if that would explain why there's a security puppet before Charlotte's murder, but it's like, did William murder Sammy, or was that an accident? Like, what exactly happened there, you know?
Personally, I like to think, because like we have a lot of like concepts flipped on their head in the novels. like for example, Elizabeth in the novel was the only child, whereas Charlie was the one with the sibling. While in game, it's shown the other way around. So I think, since like Charlie's the main protagonist of the novels and Michael's the main protagonist of the games, it would make sense for Michael to have had like a twin at some point.
Yeah, it could be Michael's twin instead of Charlie's. Yeah.
Yeah, and it would make sense for that to take off, like, both Henry and William to be more careful, like, oh god, there's, like, something happening, okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe she just got lost, felt unaware, whatever the fuck, something happened to that sibling, whatever it may have been, but, like, William, like, was already, like, maybe not the mentally healthiest person, but this is what kicked him off into a spiral. It's what made him dislike Michael, because Michael is, like, the half of the set that survived, but it's also the most like William himself, and like if he has like internalized self-hatred issues or whatever the fuck, which is likely because he's a coward and he's insecure and he's jealous of Henry, it would make sense. For him to be
Lucie's a genius
and, like,
psychoanalyst, guys. Don't worry if this is all going over your head. I don't get it either.
But like after that, like it would make sense for him to spiral, like maybe start hitting up with alcohol a lot more, getting more drunk, being like becoming alcoholic, being like jealous of Henry, being happy with his daughter because his daughter went missing. Like that's why I think that the twin should probably be female. Because if he's like under the influence, extremely enraged, in deep grief, and then also like hyper jealous of Henry in any capacity, and then sees Charlie standing outside alone by herself in the rain, I feel like that's like the perfect premonition for him to like have like a little rage fit and end up attacking her. Because like the entire instance of her dying, I feel like it just like, especially with the security puppet mini game, it feels too much like a chance being taken than like premeditated murder.
Yeah, no, all the details align to say that Charlie Puppet was the first, despite what Chica says. I don't know what's going on with Susie. First of the MCI, maybe. I interpreted that as Chica being the first animatronic.
Yeah,
but yeah, it didn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's gonna be close. Here we go.
Sorry, I haven't
out, Power Boys.
fast. I know that. But yeah, that's like why I think there could be the like concept of like a disappeared twin, but on the Afton side,
Get all the jump scares.
and where that would make sense. So.
DJ, that's a weird request, but I can get all the jump scares if you want. Like, sure, I can do that now. That wouldn't take long. I haven't been getting many jump scares. I'm gonna try top shelf very hard, and then I'll get the jump scares. Sorry, Lucy, keep going.
I was done.
Oh right.
But yeah, I'm interested in what y'all think in the chat about that.
Again, like half of the beauty of FNaF is its storytelling and like, you know, gameplay potential. Like there's so much fan content. It's always been a very community driven thing, and it's just massive respect.
Yeah, definitely. And also like part of why I love making fan content for it, even though I sometimes need breaks from that because I too get tired of drawing the same things all the time.
Yeah. I've had FNaF
like,
oversaturation to the extreme many times.
You know what? I feel like at some point I should maybe make a video or just like a script. Or
Lucy,
about that,
you
like,
can just collaborate with me on a continuity error video. You should just collaborate, share resources. Then we shout out your Tumblr or whatever. And it's like, here's where you can find my collaborator. You know, like. I'm down for collabs on continuity error, but I think the channel's just starting now, so I'm taking my time with solo videos. I think we got a collab though. There's so much we could do, and I love that. Lucy being based as usual. Ethan, like my man. Guys, we're just the best love triangle.
I tend to have a very disjointed way of telling stories when like I'm doing it verbally.
Dude,
like,
it's not as bad as FNaF. FNaF is disjointed as hell.
But if you would like,
but the mystery's part
I can try and type it out. I post it at some point.
Yeah.
Point is, I believe there may have been, like, Michael may have had a twin at some point who disappeared, and then William spiraled, and that's what made him kill Charlie, because he's jealous of Henry being happy with his little baby daughter that he no longer has, and he feels, like, super insecure about, and, like, engraved and shit. That's basically like my my personal belief of build up for the Charlie murder, and why that happened. Because that's what kicked off everything else. And I always felt like him just like being a stone cold killer who enjoys killing children as a reason for why he killed Charlie was kind of like just too shallow.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
And like having just jealousy of Henry also doesn't feel like enough of a reason to literally commit murder.
There's no one motive. It's a multitude of reasons. It's always more complicated than that, and it's very open to interpretation as well. That's how Scott's designed it.
Yeah. Exactly, and that's why I feel like just for saying, that's why I feel like the theory I have in this case could work. It's one way it could work.
I was just gonna say, first of all, that's hilarious that Lucie's talking as fast as MatPat. Do you remember when MatPat sped up his voice in like the final FNaF theory just because he had so much ground to cover for certain segments? Also, I died at 5:58, Ethan? What? You gotta be kidding me. And yeah, I didn't turn because I got confused because Lucie was talking. No offense, it's fine. It's just I'm having to listen to a lot of audio. Right, let me just check this.
Nah, that's fine.
I'm not really appreciating the Funtime Freddy cam renders. Like, these look so good. And I don't spend the time appreciating them. But yeah, this whole customized, oh, I love the design. I just want to look at this guy for a bit. Look at that model. That's nice. I know I'm wasting power. Screw you.
I was just saying, I find it very strange that William seems to have an obsession with the circus as a concept.
Again, there's stuff from William's childhood that we have, like, no information on. A shadow over Freddy's has a pretty interesting interpretation of this. It's really scary, and you're probably never going to play it, so maybe I'll just spoil it for you if you're not going to watch a playthrough.
Maybe at some point.
But, like, it was made by Fiznom, same guy behind FNaF Plus. And it's got a very interesting interpretation of William Afton and his journey discovering Remnant, basically, among other things. But like his early life, like a whole bunch of things, you know.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's fascinating. Okay, hold on. Yeah, he's on the left. Okay. Man, I'm using a lot of power. I gotta be more careful. I'm gonna try and focus more on this. I'm keep looking to read chat. Give it to text because my friend took away my crush. Wow. Freddy keeps Bonbon out of view on both cameras. I didn't notice that, but yeah, you're right. So it's like it doesn't break the immersion of Bonbon being, you know, in the office or whatever. Oh no, God, Jesus. Okay, I don't know what's happening, dude. I need to focus. Duncan, I'm afraid I didn't. There's been so many chat messages. I didn't see your question about a Fredbear's game. Please ask me again. What? I
have a very, very bullshit, very washed down, shitty interpretation of William's base motive for killing Charlie. Seeing her hurt his fifis.
Wait, what? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Sorry, yeah. So I have a very dumb way of summarizing what I just concluded for William's motive to be to kill Charlie, and it's essentially seeing this child hurts my fifis.
Wow. True. It is technically true. Yeah, it's really good, really clever on Scott's part with the rendering. Duncan, if there was to be an official Five Nights at Freddy's game, a canon game, set in Fredbear's Family Diner, during the night shift, the thing is, who would be possessed? Spring Bonnie isn't possessed by Afton for a long time. Bite of 83 isn't, you know, until, like, well, 83, you know, well after the MCI and stuff. Puppet would be the only one.
With this kind of concept. Yeah, the most you could do with this kind of concept is to make the puppet haunted. And like maybe, and I feel like this is the kind of story that should have been like taken on a long time ago. Like maybe make a story from the POV of like the police investigating things, or like I don't know, so like maybe somebody who caught wind of things and the police already packed up, and they're just like somebody who's like too curious for their own good, and that's like snooping around.
Guys, should I tell her? Should I tell her about?
Like that?
It exists.
Ah.
Fazbear Frights. It exists.
Ah,
And it's not just a one-off story.
I mean, you know, I couldn't have known that, so.
I'm just saying, it exists.
Sorry, I didn't know that it existed.
I was just gonna say, the thing is, I think the idea of a Fredbear's game has already been done pretty much as best as possible with Final Nights 4. I think Final Nights 4 is basically the best we can get of that. Because there's the excuse of Fredbear and Spring Bonnie having security AI, which William is manipulating to kill Henry, but it's an AU, so it like deviates from the timeline. You know, Puppets Haunted. I think the Shadows are in there somewhere. There's like, no, there's 2 Fredbears and 2 Spring Bonnies, because there's the... Oh no. Oh no! Oh, I ran out of power. But, there's like the original old suits, and then there's the new refurbished brand new models. So it's a bit of an AU, but like that's kind of been done. I don't think there's a lot you could do. I think what would be good is a game similar to FNaF 1 set in the original Freddy's pre-FNaF 2, pre-everything, with mini-games that go back to Fredbear's, because I don't think you could have much in terms of sit and survive gameplay in Fredbear's, but I think in storytelling you could have cutscenes, you could have mini-games, that would make sense. Are they making a FNaF movie? They say they are. It's going very slowly, but yes. Still playing UCN, SLCN. Look at Lucie, look in the acronyms. Yes, Insta. Lego FNaF. Oh man, just to deviate off topic for just a second, guys. Lego FNaF. Listen. I am aware of this. I've been following that Game Jolt page for weeks. And I only found out, like, I looked at it today, and it was, like, you know, uploaded, like, 8 hours ago, however long ago it was. It was, like, this was literally uploaded 15 hours ago, this released. I'm not going to be playing it next 5 nights of fan games. I can't guarantee that, because I've already got that whole stream planned. But I am going to play this. Lego 5 Nights at Freddy's looks so clean. I'm so excited for this. I have already downloaded it. I am going to stream it. I just don't know how or when. It might be 5 Nights of Fan Games. It might be its own stream. It might be soon. It might not be soon. The creator's going to do the original trilogy, I think. They've only done FNaF 1 so far, but it's, like, big. It's polished, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. But, no, I'm aware of that. I will cover it when I have time. What were we just talking about before, though? Yeah, the proto Insane. Yeah. Insane is like shadows thing, like ghosts or something. It was a different story about that. Guys, it's almost 7:30. I think it's time I ended the stream soon. So I'm gonna collect the jump scares. There's only 10. It won't take long. Animated as hell was like 30. I'm just gonna go onto the max mode and AFK. Okay, we've done plenty of challenges. We've got a few more left for the next stream, and don't be fooled. I'm gonna try some special stuff. I think, like maybe green running, maybe blindfolded. I'm just gonna get all the jump scares though. Let's see how this plays out. So there's Lolbit, for all that counts. I think Ballora is gonna get us first. And yeah, I love how Lego FNaF actually checks your Steam API. It's really cool. So yeah, there's Bonbon. That's the Bonbon jump scare. I will get all the cutscenes, don't worry, Ethan. I would love to beat all of this. I don't think I have what it takes to beat the max mode, but I'll give it a go. It'll be legendary to get that cutscene. But I'm gonna let someone else catch me here. Just gonna see who gets me first. The Biddy Bab actually reuses its jump scare. Biddy Bab actually, you know, reused jump scare, which is interesting. So here are all the jump scares, guys. I'm just getting the jump scares. Lucie, I forgot what we were talking about. We've been rambling on about so much. It's been awesome. Is there anything you guys want to talk about before the stream ends? Because I think it's time we ended the stream. It's been going for a while. Just gonna let someone catch me. Maybe Foxy. There's Yendo's jump scare, guys. I gotta flip my monitor to trigger some of these.
By the way, when I see Lolbit just now, I'm still so happy I got that Lolbit Funko when I did.
Interesting.
Because it's one of the coolest, most unique Funkos I own.
Nice. That's really cool. There's Bonnet. Recolored Bonbon, just for the record. I'm just getting all the jump scares. I think I might switch to a different challenge. We need Ballora. Electrobab doesn't have one. Mini Arena 2. We've already seen the minis. They don't have one. Yeah, I think Ballora's the only one we're missing. Ballora and Funtime Foxy. Any challenge with those two? I'll go Ladies Night. Ladies Night very hard. Ballora and Funtime Foxy, the only jump scares we don't have. But yeah, you gotta be legendary to see that cutscene. Again, I doubt it'll happen, but it'll be amazing to get to actually experience that cutscene for myself. Because the Golden Freddy mode cutscene of SLCN was like the most hype thing ever. Like, Lucie, do you think you're gonna come back for any more sister location streams? Or do you think this is gonna be your last rodeo?
I might.
I'm just saying, in case you have the opportunity to talk about it, and there's Ballora's jump scare. Anything you want to say about the final cutscene of Sister Location? Like, what did you think of that when you first saw it? You know?
At first, I was like, wait, hold up, this could change everything. And then I started thinking about it. I was, at first, like, until we got debunked, definitely somebody who was like, okay, but what if Mike dropped?
Yeah.
Ultimately,
guys? Yeah, go on.
That didn't happen, but it would have been a very interesting, like, way for the story to go. To have, like, this protagonist that we've been playing this whole time, and then meet an unfair end like that. Because he gets mistaken for his father.
I was gonna say, guys, be honest. Who here believed in Mike Trap back in 2017? Because I did. And I actually think it would have been really interesting. I think it could have been better than what we got. I think it was very cool. And it's hard to judge, but, like, I think it could have been very cool.
Yeah. But also, like, that things remained the way they were. Nah. Then again, I do wonder what would have happened with the timeline overall. Like, the rest of the timeline.
I remember...
If this had actually been the case.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? Because two purple guys. The way I interpret it, I gotta stop checking Foxy. He's gonna get me by surprise. It's gonna suck. I remember thinking, oh, Pirates goes empty, here we go. I remember thinking, back in 2017 and seeing fanfiction that kind of supported this, the idea of, well, William Afton, is like, there's Foxy's jump scare, lovely jubbly. So there's all the custom night jump scares, guys. I can't remember, but someone put together a fan idea, which was obviously debunked by Pizza Sim, of like, oh, well, the FNaF newspapers say that someone was convicted. Maybe William Afton did go to prison, and then in this next game, we're going to play as a prison guard defending against animatronics trying to get William for revenge, and it'll have, like, you know, Freak Show baby Elizabeth. We'll have some form of Nightmare Fredbear, which will be, you know, Cassidy Evan, the, you know, crying child, and then Mike will be Springtrap. And it will be like baby Fredbear and Springtrap will be like the main antagonists. It was honestly a really cool idea. I would love to see that as a fan game or something. Like an idea of like, oh, the like Injustice timeline. Mike is the one who gets Springtrapped. William gets off scot-free, or he gets put in prison or something, but it's like Mike is the one who suffers in Springtrap. And after all those years, after FNaF 3, it's like still William hasn't been punished yet. So it's like the spirits try and like find each other to work together to bring him down, because it's gonna like take all of them. Avengers Assemble. I know it sounds cheesy, but FNaF is cheesy, alright? It can be. I think it's got legs. I think it would have been insane. I think William Springtrap is fine. I think it still works brilliantly, but I think Michael Springtrap is a what again. What ifs are one of the best things. Like it's like franchise Viagra, right? Having the creative freedom to tell stories that aren't limited to canon and the continuity is brilliant. I would love for FNaF to just really expand into what-if scenarios in books, in games, in comic books. I would love what-if comic books that just were like one-shot premises of this kind of thing. Like, oh, what if Michael was Springtrap? What if Michael never went to the sister location bunker? What if, trying to think of a good one here, really. What if Elizabeth hadn't been killed by a baby? What if, what if Henry had exposed William like way earlier in the timeline? Like what if William was caught, in the murders and like imprisoned? What if this, what if that? There's so many interesting.
Yeah.
What if Mike wasn't revived by Ennard? What if like all kinds. So, oh yeah. Sorry, but yeah. But yeah, it was very confusing because.
AU that we never fleshed out.
Oh yeah.
Where basically the murder of Charlie gets prevented, and
prevention AU.
Like William and Henry end up teaming up to try and figure out what happened to the lost twin, like to do own private investigation.
Yeah. I was just gonna say in response to the chat, I don't blame people at all for mic trap. I think it was a perfectly rational conclusion.
At the time, it made sense.
You know, Springtrap appeared on screen as Mike was speaking, and the slowed down voice sounded robotic. Like it clearly, it seemed like an obvious thing that Scott had to clear up, which is just miscommunication. You know, it happens. Right, Souls the FNaF 1 characters come back for FNaF 6 because William still isn't dead. Kind of. Canonically, I'm happy to say that both FNaF 3 endings happen. Happiest Day does happen. But the animatronics themselves and like the actual agony of the MCI haunts William even after the spirits themselves have passed on. That's what I think is going on with UCN anyways. That's what makes sense to me. But yeah, like I should be dead, but I'm not. Like it made a lot of sense at the time. It's just we need a pizza sim to debunk that.
It's just the entire concoction, like the entire situation of that being like a robotic voice. And him like talking about how he got confused for his father, how like he was sent down there to free them, and then like all the shit to like I'm gonna come find you and I should be dead but I'm not, and then like I'm gonna come find you, and that's the time where Springtrap comes out of the rubble.
Yeah, man.
Like obviously people would conclude that. I cannot blame them in the slightest for concluding, oh, maybe that's Michael. Like,
I think it actually gave us an awesome idea. People shit on Mic Trap. I think it would have been super interesting. I'm not saying it would have been better, but it would have been interesting. It could have been better.
It would have been a good story.
But I mean, I don't know. There are people who hate Pizza Race Simulator and what they did with Afton. It's rare, but they do exist. And lots of interesting ideas. Okay, so guys, this is what I'm thinking. Cupcake Challenge Hard is the only non-max difficulty challenge left to do, so I think I'm going to end the stream with this. If I don't beat it, I'll do it next episode, where I will also try and win Doll's Attack, Girls Night, and Top Shelf on Very Hard. Depending on how much time I've got, I may attempt Golden Freddy mode on any of the difficulties. I may attempt green running certain modes. I may attempt actually being blindfolded or keyboard stress. Harry! Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing? Yeah. What if Fredbear and Golden Freddy weren't the same animatronic? Nah, that's dumb. That's dumb. But yeah, okay. Burn Down Fast Burst Fright was cool, yeah. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff I can do. I still think I'm gonna need to do 2 or 3 more streams in this, because even though we've got most of the stars, these last few stars are gonna be really hard to get if I get them. And I've got ideas for things which like aren't even in the game, like greed running, which would be fun to attempt. So yeah. Yeah, anything you guys want to say before we end the stream? I'm just going to attempt Cupcake Challenge on hard and see if I can beat this. But I've been beating most of these first try, which is nice. Like, this has not been too hard because I'm experienced, but yeah. So we have everyone except Biddy Bab, Mini Arena 2, and Yendo. Lucie, anything you want to say before the stream? Anything you want to talk about that we've not really, like, addressed or mentioned?
I think I pretty much talked about everything that presented itself.
We talked a lot of lore. Just waiting for Blora here. What do you think of Sister Location Custom Night as like a progression of the FNaF series?
I liked it. I really like that you get Sister Location as the main like plot, and then you get Custom Night for replay value. I mean, technically you could always play like the initial actual game again, but it doesn't have the same kind of like challenge replay value and like
you're right.
High score hunting kind of deal that the first 4 games were. So having Custom Night in addition to Sister Location really rounds it out. Because
the thing is, Sister Location sucks for one reason. The checkpoints are garbage, and the replayability is, like, pretty low, sadly. And I find that, like, this bridges the gap between Sister Location and the older games. Because it's got, like, a mix of both. And, you know, it's also, like, just a really good, nice, replayable challenge night. So it's pretty good in that regard. Is Foxy not active this night? He's been really quiet. Anyway, but yeah, what if the bite with Fredbear never happened, right? Can we just remove FNaF 4 from the lore? Like, that would definitely reduce my headaches per week.
I would like to do that with Midnight Motorist. I mean, I'm already doing that. I literally, like, a lot of things in the lore where I'm like, I can't put this puzzle piece anywhere because it's gonna break the careful plot I build around it, so I'm gonna just pretend it doesn't exist. Yeah,
like, literally. The FNaF lore's not 100% solvable. There's contradictions because there's no line. You can't draw the line between what, you know, from the books or whatever is, like, you know, just a little, like, is a lore-relevant detail and what isn't a lore-relevant detail. Like, there's too much room for interpretation now. And so many vague details that simply cannot be answered unless you're in Scott's mind, and it's, it's really unclear. Hello, serial designated N.
When people, which is why I think it's silly when people get so fucking, like, mad about people, like, diving more into headcanon territory with the story.
Right?
Or like me, who's like, I never read the Fast Food Fright books, I have no desire to read them, so I'm gonna just ignore them as lore evidence.
Like, honestly, here's the thing. Since UCN, the original FNaF story ended, Help Wanted was, like, a clear reboot. I mean, people disagree with that, but, like, it's got all the hallmarks of a reboot. Like, it's so disconnected.
It really should.
I don't regard it as in the same universe, because it just can't be. I don't care how much people insist it is. And the thing is, since then, I feel like, as a theorist, you can't just stagnate and do the same things over and over. In order to, you know, improve myself personally and actually develop, you know, we needed to do something new, something that would actually, you know, enhance our skills and take us new places. And I think fanon, headcanon, AU is, like, the direction to go in. Especially when FNaF is so terribly hit and miss these days, you know, with official content and storytelling. Like, it's so bad. I know I'm, like, a Star Wars fan, but, like, these fandoms are pretty similar. I think there's a reason I'm a big fan of both FNaF and Star Wars. And, yeah, my point is that, like, I think, people who are, like, just doing the same old theory crafting as people were in 2016, like, it's a pointless endeavor. You're not getting anywhere. You're not doing any favors for anyone, especially yourself, and it's like, you know, times have changed. Theory crafting isn't what it really used to be. Like, with all the context of the here and now, it's like, the whole thing's different. I think it's like, either you gotta change with the times, or just die in the past. Like, I've thought about leaving the FNaF fandom because I don't like the direction FNaF is going in, and I've been convinced not to because there's plenty of stuff, you know, keeping me here. But, you know, if I didn't change how I did things, like, Continuity Error is the, like, ultimate personification of this, because that project evolved and changed so many times over the course of a year. It went from a, you know, MatPat imitation, which would have been the exact same if I'd made it in 2016, 17, 18, 19, to a very, you know, well, the channel doesn't really, you know, just do FNaF lore like I would have done in 2018. Like, I just do videos about FNaF, the lore, the meta, other games. I don't limit myself. It's not as strict. And I don't, instead of trying to present theories, I just like to explore what FNaF has to offer, because it's like, it's just not that simple anymore. Back when there were only like 4 games and 1 book or less, like, you know, 3 games only, like, you could make sweeping statements about the entire franchise, because all it was this one trilogy. But now, like, it's a whole different thing. I'm not even going to bother with the oxygen. I'm running out of power.
Yeah.
Here we go. Guys, I don't know if I'm going to make it. Hey, we did it! We did it! I beat Cupcake Challenge hard mode, so that's actually pretty close to Golden Freddy. I could probably beat Golden Freddy hard. I just think very hard is going to push it. But yeah, that's going to do it for now, guys. That's the end of the stream. So thank you so much for watching. Ophir, welcome, man. My SOA theorist dudes have just joined. The guys, if you want to go about the streams there, it was a bit of a mess, but we had fun. And Yeah, I'm afraid I'm gonna end this now because I've been going for more than long enough.
Yeah.
God, if Scott never patched the power, that would be insane, dude. I mean, I've never played pre-patch, but I've heard about it. So anyway, just catch up with chat to make sure I've not missed anything. Midnight Motorist is like compensation for how clear and solid the rest of FNAF 6's lore is, right? Like, Pizza Sim never explains a ton of basic things, like why does Springtrap look different, but like, it's those kind of things are easy to make assumptions about and educated guesses. You think rationally, okay, after Afton's escape Fazbear's fright, you know, what's he gonna look for? He's gonna get damaged, he's gonna want to build himself a better body at some point, so he's gonna go to old locations, because he'll know where those are. And, you know, if the novels are anything to go by, a lot of the FNAF locations were just left to rot. They weren't even demolished, they were just left. Or whatever, you know, like, that must have happened because we see the parts. You know, with Scrap Baby, again, at some point, you know, between Sister Location and Pizza Sim, she must have gone salvaging. You know, Molten Freddy, I don't know, it's weird, it's weird. Sometimes it's just a design thing. FNAF disconnected, yeah.
Hot idea.
Yeah?
What if
Hot dog.
the reason William returns to the FNAF 1 building, at least I assume it's a FNAF, I don't know, the building where he ends up dying in.
Is this in the FNAF 3 minigames? Yeah. The reason he goes back is...
No. I think the reason why they're still there, like entirely untouched, is because William went under the radar, and nobody could find him, and he actually owns the building, like officially on paper.
I don't think he owns it, but yes, I definitely agree with the other part. My basic thought of the timeline is this.
Speculation, because like I feel like Henry would have either demolished or sold it if he owned the building, and if somebody else owned the building, they'll probably try to like I don't know, refurbish it, reuse it, smash it.
Henry's conveniently out of the picture for a long time. Lucie already knows this. My theory is that he was imprisoned. He was convicted instead of William. When you think about it, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, when the person got convicted, it was Henry.
I think he would have been freed after 1987, after the DCI bite. But I don't think he's the CEO of Fazbear Entertainment for FNAF 1. I think at that point he'd want to distance himself from Freddy's as much as possible. I think he would be so traumatized and disgusted with everything that went down. He would want to stay away from it. So I don't think he'd have any interest in buying it back or owning it in any way, shape, or form. Because logically, right?
Again, that's why. Like, listen. Like,
go on.
This doesn't exclude my theory, because if you think about, if really both of them were the owner of this franchise, if they like created it together, and they're both owners of that building. And Henry was nothing to do with it, and William just mysteriously goes missing because he goes down there and nobody knows where he is. It would make sense that this building would just stand there untouched.
Yeah.
Any other person would have tried to profit off of it in any way. Be it by smashing it down, building something new, renovating it, and reusing it for something else. Stuff like that.
You're right. I kind of have an explanation of this in my Freddy timeline video, though, guys. I'm not even joking. Go to continuity error. I address this. It's just a theory. But I think Fazbear Entertainment's owned by other people after, like, FNAF 2 onwards. But that kind of doesn't really... Yeah, it doesn't fully align, but...
But that's why I'm
like,
saying
who is the CEO,
the building,
you know?
not the company. The building is his.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, yeah, I see where you're coming from.
He gets kicked out of the company.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. No, he owns the building. That makes sense, yeah. I just want to catch up with chat for end of the stream.
My argument.
Who do you play as New CN? Are you Michael? You could, but I think you're just William. You might be Michael as well, but you're definitely William. Unpopular opinion, William returning for the third time was better than William being a fucking virus in a circuit board infecting a VR game. What, in Security Breach? When you say third time? I don't know, what do you mean?
I also think it's Security Breach, because I can't think of anything.
I don't mind Springtrap returning in Pizzeria Simulator, to be honest. I think it was a little contrived for fan service, but I think it makes sense. I think, you know, having
confirmed it.
Afton himself taken down by the FNAF 3 fire is kind of underwhelming. I like the idea that his character survives and he goes on in just full desperation as this kind of like post-Springtrap monstrosity that has to be taken down by, like, Henry, you know, the big boy, you know, you know, big forces to actually be defeated. I thought Pizza Sim wrapped him up perfectly. Yeah, I actually think Scrap Trap. I hate his design, but I think William Afton surviving, making the most of his situation, being resourceful, coming back, you know, following up on that. I think Peter Sim handled him really well. I just think the model was trash.
Simultaneously, I feel like his existence in there is kind of pointless.
Yeah, but like
we already had the closure moment that got dug up with the end of Sister Location Custom Night cutscene, which was happy.
Sorry, the stream's dragging on.
At the same time, I feel like it would have worked just as well without.
The
only reason he's there is to give like Michael a motive to be there.
Yeah. Look, I'm not going to get into it now because we're going to be for hours. We've already gone over time. Lucy,
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to invite you back. It might not be next episode, but I think the episode after next, most likely the last one, I should definitely bring you back for something because I'm going to need to really focus for some of these challenges. And sadly, that means not talking as much about this. So I'm going to zone out and not hear what you say. And I don't want to be rude. I don't want to bring you on just to not listen to you. So next episode, I think I'll go solo so I can focus. But yeah, yeah, FNaF VR doesn't make sense, and it has no prior connection to the other games, so I don't regard it as, like, the continuity. Peter Sim's the finale, you sense the epilogue, that was established. Scott literally said that, virtually word for word in his interview, like in 2018. That was established. Okay, QOTD, I forgot. So, Harry, I would love to... that would be awesome. If you want a theorycraft, you, me, and Lucy would make a great FNaF lore team. You, me, and Lucy. There's a bunch of theorists I know. Maybe George, maybe Ambience, maybe Ticket. But, like, you, me, and Lucy would make a great team. I feel like the three of us together could write the most banging FNaF AU or something, you know?
Yeah.
If you ever join a voice chat, dude.
On the SOA server. So.
Listen, I don't, like, voice call often because I'm really introverted. I'm not outgoing, but, like, we should just, like, message more casually. All we ever talk about is fucking FNaF lore. And, I mean, that goes on to multiple people. I'm just thinking Harry Burger now. We should just chat more often, but yeah. But yes, that's right. Henry does, well... I'm not going to get into it now. I don't think Fazbear Entertainment exists in Pizza Sim. I think it's all fake. It's a simulation. Alright, I'm caught up with chat. Guys, thank you, okay? That's the end for now. Next episode, I'm going to try some more max modes. I might start on Golden Freddy, and then, we'll see what goes from there. I'm going to do a bunch of things with Sister Location Custom Night. There's weekly challenges on Shrine of Ambience, which I've not done using this yet, although they're all pretty tough, so I don't know if I will ever go at them. But, I'm going to go now. Today's QOTD winner is DJ. You guys all gave really good answers, but I thought DJ's was really effective because he made a very strong and simple point that stood out to me. Oh my god, did the stream just... Okay, I'm not sure what the hell just happened. Can you guys see and or hear me? Is this working? I'm looking at my previews. I think we're back. Guys, the stream just completely disconnected. Super Mario DJ is cursed with lag. I mentioned the guy and my stream lags. Like, goddamn. Listen, we're dropping frames again, so I'm just gonna end this, okay? If you guys have enjoyed, leave a like. The support means a lot. It's really greatly appreciated. Subscribe, ring the bell, or better yet, join the Discord server and enable post notifications using the reaction roles in Select Your Pings. It's really simple. It's more reliable than YouTube because people are always saying to me, the YouTube notif didn't come through. YouTube was lagging. Well, these come from my hand directly, so definitely sign up. And check out Continuity Error if you haven't already. You know, all my social medias are linked below. You can check them all out. But seriously, guys, I put a lot of time and effort into this video. And this isn't just a Freddy Fazbear lore video. The reason it's so long is because it kind of establishes a grounding for a lot of my theories in general. So it's really definitely worth checking out. And better videos are on the way. I see we're buffering, dude. But I was also just going to say, check out Kidscape. Check out Lucy, check out Ethan, check out DJ. They're all linked in the description below. All of these talented people, all of this, you know, great charity. Yeah, we're lagging, but I'm gonna go. I see stream is dying, and yeah, continuity error. Yeah, and yeah, Ethan has actually technically, Ethan and Lucy are the first collaborators of Continuity Error. Do I have Ethan's picture here? That would be yes, it's perfect. The Trinity, guys, because. This deliciously sexy love triangle, group of great friends with benefits, we are, technically, Continuity Error is in part Lucy and Ethan. It's not like they own it, but Ethan has provided gameplay footage to, you know, provide the meat and the backbone to my videos, and Lucy helped design the channel art, which is crucial to the, like, branding aspect of it. These two have helped me massively, so support them. They're both linked in this stream. They both on Continuity Error. Is it not? Is it working? I'll just link your channel in that case. If it's not working, I'm gonna link the channel because you guys should subscribe to True Player. This guy is a Giga Chat and he's just insanely skilled with FNaF. I'm just gonna link it there in case that doesn't work. Guys, I'm gonna go. The stream's lagging. Thank you so much.